Live from a dark castle in the Carpathian Mountains. This is the Cobwebs channel. Hey everybody, hey, thank you so much for being here. This is Daniel here with the Cobwebs channel going live. You know what I was thinking about today? I was thinking about how when Joe Bob Briggs starts his shows, he just kind of starts with like a random story or like fact about something, and he just goes on and on with it. It doesn't really have anything to do with anything, but it kind of just, I don't know, gets you in the mood. I was literally thinking like, what random story can I talk about? Just as soon as it goes live, I'm just going into it the way he does. You know, the way he's just like, well, you know, the history of fried ice cream or something. I don't know. I didn't think of anything, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm here. People are already throwing in movies into the chat. We haven't even started the game. I'll get into what that's about. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. Basically, we're going to be playing a game that I'm very excited about where I'm going to be doing a ranking, but I don't know what movies I'm going to be ranking. That's going to come from you guys, which is very, very exciting. I've also got a box here of movies that somebody sent me that I'm going to unbox. Answer your questions. You know, that's what we often do. I hope the mic is sounding good. Last time, well, I say hope, I'm almost positive the mic is sounding good. Last time I did a live, we had a lot of mic issues. It was very embarrassing. Very, very terrible. And I still had so many people in the comments of like the replay being like, sound is off. And I'm like, dude, I know. I talk about it in that stream. But anyway, I think it's good. I did quite a bit of testing. Somebody said, mic sounds great. We got somebody else saying sounds great. We got Brian Power. Hello, Brian. Says rank the films of John Carpenter. That's on the list to do soon. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. I don't know. Am I just intimidated to do it? I don't know. John Carpenter is my favorite director, but I do want to do that soon. So I would say within a month, you will probably see a John Carpenter ranking on this channel, which I'm very excited about. Okay, so I'm going to go up to the chat and just start saying hi to people. It's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, rank Lucio Fulci's Zombie, Stephen King Graveyard, and Shift, and Halloween 3. I don't know what to do with all the movies quite yet because we haven't even started yet. But hello, man. Obsolete Elite. I see you in the comments a lot. I really appreciate all your support, man. Thank you for jumping in. We got deep fried hamsters. Dang. My little sister, when I was a kid, had a pet hamster, and I loved that thing. I loved that hamster. I would like to just lay on the ground and just put him on my chest, and he just kind of crawl around. And as soon as he's about to crawl off me, I just pick him up and put him back somewhere. He just crawl around. He was a good little guy. I don't remember what his name was. I'll have to ask her. We got Ben in the house drinking Stash Orange Spice Tea. That sounds fantastic. The package is orange and black traditional Halloween colors. Love it. You know I love that. Let's see. Greetings from UK. Thank you. I tell you, I'm itching to do another folk horror video. I love doing videos about folk horror. Hello, Anthony Sarkis. Thank you so much for dropping in. Christine Tassone. I will tell you, I have an original one sheet of People Under the Stairs hanging up in my basement right now. I love that movie. I was involved in union bargaining today, and I'm watching this to relax because it's going to be less horrifying than bargaining. Slightly less horrifying. That's one thing I guarantee for my streams. They are only moderately horrifying, which is nice. Thank you, Susan, so much for being here. Hello, Dark Forest. Hello, Jade and Christopher. Always good to see you, man. Yeah, I mean, not for me. I'm a little bit not quite of that generation, but I came to him through the Shudder show and really enjoy his stuff. Very knowledgeable, very fun to watch. He makes me want to have like a drive-in set, you know, like sitting in front of a camper like he does. Obviously, I can't rip that off, but I love that set. It's so great. Hello, American Badger. That's a good movie choice. Not my take is Deathstalker 1 is awful. It is an awful, awful film. But Deathstalker 2 is really fun. That is a huge sequel jump. Hey, man, FilmFan78, thank you so much for being here, man. Always appreciate you. Pinup Horror TV, hello. We got Spooch123. That's all I'm going to say. It's Spooch. That's a cute little puppy you got there. Hello. Maddie Man 5 Dodge. Let's see. Francisco GTT. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, Joan. Always good to see you. A regular around here. Hellmouth Presents. We got Thomas. Hello, man. Thank you so much for being here. Storybook Cottage. I like that name. That's nice and cozy. That's good stuff. The Collins. Hello. Let's see. What is your diet like? That's a good question. I like to think that I eat pretty well. I have realized recently I'm not getting quite enough fruits and vegetables in, so I'm trying to up that intake, trying to up my fiber and such. But I like to eat real food, so I don't eat a lot of like processed food. I don't eat a lot of fast food. I do most of the cooking in my house, so cook real stuff. Um, Today I made tacos, but I had the thought recently, like, usually when I make a lot of different kinds of tacos, but normally if I make basic tacos and I consider that ground beef with taco seasoning, it's good, but it's not good enough. And I thought surely there's a way to do that better. So this time I sauteed onions and garlic, and then I grilled the beef in it. And then I added the taco seasoning and tomato paste and some water. And it was really good. Really, really good tacos tonight. But yeah, I don't have like a set, like I can't tell you I'm on the Mediterranean diet, I'm on the keto diet. I just try to eat decent food basically, and I do most of my cooking myself. Let's see. We got 99 Robert. Hello. I am doing well. I am really doing well. I'm very thankful. Thank you. Let's see. G Money Balls. Oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah, I enjoy making thumbnails. Sometimes I spend too much time on them, but I enjoy it. I make them through Canva. We got the United States government. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I really want to see The Ugly Stepsister. Actually, I am planning a video soon of dark fairy tale horror movies. That's been like a long running request on this channel. A lot of people wanted dark fairy tale horror movies. And when I saw The Ugly Stepsister came out, read the synopsis, I'm like, oh, now is the time. Like I should do the list and kind of center it around that movie. So I'm probably going to do that in the next couple of weeks, I would say, probably. I'm really excited to watch that. Would you ever do a list or ranking of queer horror films? Yeah, maybe. I don't think I could tell you off the top of my, like 10 off the top of my head right now. Everybody would say Nightmare on Elm Street 2, obviously. But it's not a topic I've like deep dived into. So I'd have to look into it. I couldn't do it for you right now, but maybe. Hello, Blue Bonnet. Hello, Bonnie Bailey. Buenas noches. Hello from Argentina. I would love to do that. Yeah, I've talked about quite a bit of them on the channel already in like different lists, but never all together. And technically, I've never done all of them. I actually have done that on my podcast, my old podcast. I don't have a podcast anymore, but it's called the Cobwebs Podcast. It's probably still on Spotify and such, but I did do it on there with a guest one time. Vampires from Carpenter. Yeah, you know what? The first time I watched Carpenter's Vampires, I hated it. Like I thought it was a miserable, just like vile movie. And it kind of is. But then I rewatched it and I was like, oh, actually, I kind of like this. And then it wasn't not that long after that I was like, I kind of want to watch that again. And like a couple of times I just kind of threw it on like in the background. And I've really just come to love it now. Like that's one of the hardest turnarounds I've ever had on a movie is that. And I recently bought the new 4K and I haven't watched the 4K yet. I'm looking forward to doing that. Thank you. Thank you, Pinopore. I appreciate that. What's your take on Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker? I've seen it once. I remember thinking it was pretty good. I remember like, it kind of gets marketed as a slasher. It's not really. It's a little bit of a mix of a slasher and like a really dark drama about an extremely overbearing mother, from what I remember, and a kid who's kind of messed up from it. I remember thinking it was interesting, didn't love it, but that might be one that I need to revisit. Hello, Darkroom Reviews. Thank you for dropping by. Let's see. Hello, Chronologic. Feeding your dog watermelon. Very cool. I didn't know dogs like that, but I can believe it. Hello, Mark. I got your package here that you sent me. I won't show your return address. Don't worry. I'm going to be unboxing that right here. So that'll be fun. Ooh, cool. Bring Her Back. I haven't seen it yet. It's not like officially out yet, at least in America. But it's coming out this next weekend. Excuse me. I had to burp. I had to mute myself for a second. It's coming out this weekend. So I want to see it. I'm considering doing a review for it, and I normally don't do like dedicated reviews, but I'm really looking forward to it. That's the new movie from the same directors as Talk to Me. And I love Talk to Me, man. I thought that was that is like one of the most fun experiences I've had being scared in a movie theater, because like it was scary and it did kind of get me, but like in a way that was really fun, and I just had a blast with it. So I just love Talk to Me. I bought it, but I haven't rewatched it since the theater, and I would love to rewatch it. Ranking best British horror. That would be quite an undertaking for me because I love a lot of British horror movies. So that would be, I'd have to do a lot of prep to make sure that was right. Jeffrey. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, man. I just love folk horror. It's so great. Oh, okay. I'm glad you enjoyed A Wounded Fawn. Yeah. That movie really, really impressed me because I watched it with like no expectations, just a Shudder original. And it was way more interesting than I thought I was going to be. Big fan. Ah, cool, cool, cool. It is not great. All right. Yeah, The Golden Child is an Eddie Murphy movie that Vinegar Syndrome's putting out in a big, fancy, big box SVU edition. And I've never seen it. I'm interested in watching it. I'm not interested in blind buying that. The thing with the VSUs, like, I'm not a complete collector with them. I got a few of them, but I bought Congo. I blind bought Congo, and I like kind of loved it. I know Congo has bad reputation, but I had a great time with it. And I was like, I'm in on these VSUs. And then I blind bought a Virtuosity, and the movie was okay, but like I didn't need to spend that much on it, you know. Like I could have easily streamed that and been like, okay, cool, that was a decently entertaining 90 minutes. So now I'm like kind of backing out the VSUs a little bit. Let's see, Gory Tiger. Hello, Shannon Brown. Hey, that's awesome. Dale Roscoe watched Hard Eyes last time. My wife and I really enjoyed it. That is a great horror movie to watch with your wife. That's a great date horror movie, for obvious reasons. I can't wait to show that to my wife. I haven't showed it to her yet, but I think she would love it. That movie's so fun. A lot of hate for it, though, in comments of videos where I've talked about it. A lot of people hate it, but man, I thought it was such a blast. Yo, we got Matt Bledsoe. Matt Bledsoe is one of my best friends I've ever made through talking about movies online. We did a lot of podcasting together back in the day, and we've now hung out in person a couple of times. He's probably going to be coming to my house in October. We're planning to get together. Matt's an awesome dude. He's my first or second patron ever also, which he didn't need to do, but he's just a sweet guy. Hello, House of Horror. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Deathstalker 2 is not amazing, but like Deathstalker 2 knows what it is, right? It's just like, hey, we're just gonna have a goofy time with you know, this sword and sorcery thing. We're gonna have some monsters, some action, some pretty ladies, and we're just gonna do that, and it succeeds, you know. Whereas Deathstalker is like, it's like trying to be a real movie, but everything about it is so awful, and it just fails so bad. I've talked about Nightflyer a few times. I talked about it in my last Stephen King video, and I talked about it in my best 90s vampires list. I'm a big fan of Nightflyer. Yeah, cool. Like how I rank movies through the decades. Daughter of the Mind. Should tell people how I feel about it. I don't know Daughter of the Mind, so I'll have to look into it. Yeah, that ranking movies through the decades has been a long running series that is unfinished. Last I did 80s, I still got to do 90s, but I got a few movies I know I need to watch and rewatch before I do that. So I need to do it soon. And then the 2000s, I'm scared to do. I'm scared to do the 2000s because that's not my decade. And I think people who are really passionate about that decade might get mad at my takes on it. We'll see. Hello, Ghostly. Oh, good. I'm glad you like The Nesting. Yeah. Yeah, that's just a good little haunted house movie. You know, it's like, it's not trying to be anything too much, but it's just a solid haunted house flick, and I enjoyed it. Yes, I do have one. I have a son. He is 2 years old. What age are you going to show them horror? He's kind of already seen horror. Because it's just on in our house around him a lot. And he, you know, he comes down to the basement and there's horror stuff everywhere. So he's just growing up around it, and he loves going to like Spirit Halloween in the October season. So he's just kind of growing up around it. But like he's watched Casper, he's watched Beetlejuice, Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. So he's just had a lot of the kids classics around him in the Halloween season. I did watch, some people might think I'm terrible for this, but I watched the 80s Trick or Treat with him recently. I needed to rewatch it. He was hanging out with me. I'm like, you know what? Just come sit on the couch. We'll watch this. And he watched it with me. And I would argue that movie's not too objectionable. Like, if I remember right, there's no nudity in it. It's really not that gory. That's the heavy metal Trick or Treat one. He seemed to really enjoy it. He loved the music. Like, he loved whenever there's music on. And whenever Sammy Kerr, the heavy metal guy, whenever he was off screen, he was like, "Where'd that guy go?" And then he'd come back, and then he was happier. I expect he's just going to grow around horror movies in general. I've not seen Big Ass Spider. Yeah, that's a Mike Mendez movie, I'm pretty sure, but I haven't actually seen it. Let's see. I love it when I can go to a farmer's market. I enjoy that. Hi, Michael. Thank you. Hello, Bo. Oh, well, welcome. Thank you very much for dropping by. Giving up pork. Oh, interesting. I have no interest in giving up pork. I really love pork. But my wife was raised on the pork is evil train because of religion, but she's off of it now. So now she likes pork. But so she kind of had the reverse of trying to give it up. Yeah, man, people recommend Pete Walker movies to me all the time, and I really need to start watching them. I've watched one. I've seen House of Long Shadows, although that seems like it's like not the most Pete Walker movie, but I have seen that. But yeah, I kind of want to do a video just on some like underseen gothic movies in general, and I figure I'll watch some Peter Walker movies for that. I think he does gothic kind of stuff. I could be wrong. House of Long Shadows is at least, but I need to look into it. Hello, Grumbletonian. Oh, very cool. Glad to hear it, Dan. Awesome, awesome. Oh, interesting. Let's see. Okay, good. The Storybook Cottage loved The Ugly Stepsister. Good. When I first heard about it, I don't know, I heard it was like Cinderella inspired, but you know, with like the Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey stuff going on, I wasn't sure how serious to take that. But then I saw a trailer and I was like, wow, this looks beautiful. It looks like a legit beautiful period piece, but just also a horror movie. I'm really looking forward. It's on Shudder now, so I'm going to watch it soon. Let's see. I don't think I've seen. No, I haven't seen Dead Time Stories. That's one of the few horror anthologies I haven't seen yet. Glad you like Frogman. We're hard at work shooting the sequel. We're hard at work. Are you involved in Frogman? Hang on, I'm gonna Google you. Are you the director? Because I don't know the director's name off the top of my head. I have too many tabs open. I'm figuring that out. Probably not. I think I found your IMDb. I don't see Frogman on there. So yeah, I guess you're involved in Frogman too, though. So that's awesome. I love Frogman. Frogman just delivers on being a Frogman movie more than I expected it to. I thought it was going to be more subtle, but it's not subtle. It's like, this is going to be the ultimate Frogman movie. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it. That's awesome. Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, I've been thinking lately, like I should just do a list all centered around Shutter. You know what I recently noticed is on Shutter that I was kind of surprised it's on Shutter because it used to be really hard to get a hold of, but it's not anymore. Is Possession from 1981 with Sam Neill and I think her name is like Isabella Nanjiani or something like that. That is an insane movie, but it's really impactful and wild. So if you haven't seen Possession from 1981, that's my Shudder recommendation right now. I don't know him off the top of my head. Hang on. Let me see if I know any of his movies. Jiraj Hurs. Slavic film director. Cool. Interested. Czechoslovakia. Oh, he did a Beauty and the Beast in the 70s. Interesting. I was thinking I might include the 1940s French Beauty and the Beast, like La Belle et la Bête or something like that. Even though it's technically not a horror movie, but it's creepy. So I feel like it could kind of fit. But I'll look into that. Thank you. Let's see. I've not covered the Ghostbusters movies. No. I'm not like the biggest Ghostbusters fan. I think the first one is great, but like a lot of people are like really passionate about Ghostbusters. And I'm not that, but I think it's like a really solid comedy. Like I think it's a really good movie. I really enjoy it. Ghostbusters 2 I've seen once, didn't really impact me. I don't think Ghostbusters 2016 is that bad. I respect that it's actually a comedy because ever since then, Ghostbusters movies aren't comedies anymore. At least it's a comedy, and I thought it had some funny parts, so I thought it was okay. Ghostbusters Afterlife is fine, but it's not enough of a comedy. And I never saw Frozen Empire, so that's my brief thoughts on Ghostbusters. Vampire and Carpenter's films, The Bad Guy in Karate Kid 3, Cobra Kai. Yeah. Gosh, what is his name? I can't remember his name, but yeah, Valak is the vampire's name. He is an awesome vampire. So cool. Don Doler Marathon. I must be too brain dead right now to tell you who that is. Let me see. Oh, Night Beast? Oh, he did Night Beast. Night Beast is awesome. I watched that with my buddy Chris from Figure Out Films. And I mean, that's like a historic movie night in our friendship. It's just an insane time watching Night Beast. Crazy, crazy movie. Oh man, I'm so sorry to hear about that. I have two cats. I have two cats myself. An orange one named Brewster, named after Charlie Brewster in Fright Night, of course, and a black one named Poe for obvious reasons. Yeah, so I get it. That's very sad, man. I'm so sorry to hear about that. But I'm glad. The channel is providing some comfort. Let's see. Oh yeah, I love so many werewolf movies. I've got a couple of werewolf lists on the channel. I've got a top 15 werewolf movies, which admittedly would be different now because there are a lot of werewolf movies I've seen now that I had not seen then. So it's not my current list, but it's there. It's got a lot of great recommendations. Then I did one as a collaboration with some other YouTubers on like top 10 underseen werewolf movies. But I have been thinking soon I want to do an updated werewolf list and do like top 20 werewolf movies. So I think I'll do that. But yeah, so Company of Wolves, that's one of the greatest dark fairy tale movies. That'll be near the top of my dark fairy tale list, no doubt. But Company of Wolves, Bad Moon from the 90s is fantastic. So good. A recent one that I recently checked out is a British direct-to-video movie called Howl. It's from 2015. It's great. It might be the most just like purely intense werewolf movie ever. Like it's really intense and it's really, really good. So there's a few. There's a few at least. The Man in the White Van. I've never seen that. No. Interesting. Let's see. Roger Corman. Yeah, I really should do I've thought lately, like, should I do like top 10 Roger Corman movies? I would have to. The problem with it right now is it would be majority Vincent Price Poe movies because I think that's the best stuff he's done. But there's some other stuff that I haven't seen, especially if we're just talking about stuff he's directed, that I would have to check out first. We started more movies with ghouls. They are not the same as zombies. It could be stars of their own unique movie. Yeah, I mean, a really good example of ghouls is the third story in The Monster Club, which is an anthology, but the third story is very ghoul-centric. That's a really good representation of them. I kind of feel like the movie Mutant is kind of a ghouls movie. With Wings Hauser, which I just recently talked about, which I thought was great. And I was bummed that a lot of people in the comments were like, oh yeah, that's a Riff Tracks movie. And like, I can't take that movie seriously because Riff Tracks tore it apart. And I'm just like if you just watch movies and like actually give them a chance, like a lot of times they're better than if you listen to comedians make fun of them while you watch them. And that just kind of makes me sad. But Mutant I think it's an actually good movie. And it's not explicitly a cool movie, but I think it fits that pretty well. Ooh, 80s film, The Pit. Shoot, man. That movie is insanity. So I watched that in the middle of the night for a 24-hour horror marathon that I did in my basement with some friends a few years ago. Middle of the night, and like me and my buddy Chris, bringing out Chris again, we were like dying laughing for the first half of it because we're like delirious and the movie is so bonkers insane that like we were just cracking up. And halfway through, he fell asleep and I'm just sitting there. And without anybody to laugh with, I was like miserable. It's like so miserable watching it. But I still own it. I have the Kino Lorber Blu-ray right back there. It is a crazy movie. It's with the bear and the pit. Crazy. I really want to watch Novocaine. I really like Jack Quaid. I need to watch it. I have never seen the Hammer House of Horror show, which people ask me about that all the time, and I still haven't seen it. Very hard for me to make time for TV shows. One day maybe I'll do like a a Patreon review series all focused on that. That's a possibility. Yes. Speaking of 24-hour marathons, I saw Rec at a 24-hour marathon I attended a couple years ago. It was like around 9 p.m., so I wasn't like delirious by that point. Thought it was really good. It was like really built up as a classic, and I finally watched it. I thought it was great. Yeah, no hot take there. I've never seen Seder, no. Okay, what werewolf movie is better, The Howling or American Werewolf in London? I am firmly in the American Werewolf camp. I think American Werewolf in London is a masterpiece. I think it's incredible. It's my second favorite werewolf movie of all time, behind the original The Wolfman, which will always be number one. The Howling, I don't love it as much as a lot of other people do. I think it's good. I don't think it's great. The thing is, it's a Joe Dante movie, and I love Joe Dante, but Joe Dante excels with like humor and like sentimental heart, and The Howling doesn't have those, so it doesn't play to his strengths. And I think what it is, he's not as good at. And the characters are just really bland in that movie for me. The werewolves are amazing. It might actually be the best looking werewolves on screen ever. Like, The Howling is better werewolves than American Werewolf in London. But story and characters, I think it's kind of weak. So that's my hot take. People heavily disagree, and that's totally fine. That's fine. But American Werewolf all the way for me. I'm gonna scroll down a little bit. Ooh, we got Eli. Where you been? Oh, Cody. Cody's in here. We do have Cody. Hey, man, dude who loves movies. Thank you so much for dropping in. Appreciate you. I was kind of scrolling down and seeing, oh, my goodness, Our Life in Horror. Thank you so much. I'm aware of your channel. I had no idea you watched my channel, so thank you. Thank you for being here. Let's see. I don't even, I don't remember them. I really don't. Sorry about that. Oh, well. He's 2. He's fine. Oh, good. I'm glad you watched Mutant. That's awesome. Let's see. Ooh, Starry Eyes is really good. Yeah, that is the prime era for me of keeping up with like indie horror. In like that 2013 to 2017 era, I was like keeping up with so much of the independent horror scene, and that was a really fun time. And Starry Eyes is like one of my top memories of that era. It's really good. Let's see. It's overdone now, like the Japanese ghost girl thing. It's overdone now, but it wasn't at the time. At the time, it was revolutionary. But it kind of American remakes rammed it into the ground. But even so, I just recently finally watched the original The Grudge, and I thought it was super scary. So it wasn't totally a run to the ground for me. Yes, Bird Offerings is another one that I saw at a 24-hour marathon I attended. I think that was 2 years ago. Yeah, thought it was great. Super fun. Oliver Reed is so entertaining in that movie, and it has a ending that really, really hits. So it's great stuff. Let's see. Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Like button and sub. We got 174 people in here. That's crazy. Thank you all so much for being here. We'll get into the game soon and some other stuff. I'm just really enjoying checking in with the chat right now. Show my daughter Dawn of the Dead. She's 9. Yeah, I just don't really agree with the idea that like you really should shelter your kids from movies, from R-rated movies, blah, blah, blah. Within reason, you should do what you believe is right. But like, I don't think that's the only way to do it. And I think like, a lot of people who grew up in the 80s will talk about these great memories that they have of like, I saw Friday the 13th when I was 8 and I wasn't supposed to see it and it terrified me. And now I'm a horror fan for life. People say those kind of stories all the time. Or like, oh, I snuck downstairs when my parents were watching Creepshow and I hid behind the couch and I watched it and it terrified me. And now I'm a horror fan for life. But then even so, those same people will then raise kids and be super sheltering. And I kind of think like, I think it's good for kids to have those experiences. And I think it will make them even better, bigger movie fans throughout life. That's my take at least. But then, I'm not a seasoned parent. My kid's only 2. Thank you, Dale. I really appreciate that. I'm kind of scrolling down. Currently on your physical media wish list. My physical media collecting has definitely slowed down lately. I'm interested in that new Scream Factory box set. The Mario Scream Factory recently announced a Mario Bava box set. I'm a big Mario Bava fan. I already have a lot of those movies, but I don't have all those movies. And I haven't seen all those movies even. And just the idea of having them all packaged together, and they haven't released a giant box set like that since Friday the 13th one. So I'm interested. I might get it. I'm also kind of want the Vinegar Syndrome 4K of Dirty Work, although it's too expensive right now, and I'm just not willing to pay like $40 for Dirty Work, but I do kind of want it anyway. Um, I'd have to think more on like what else. Good question though. Let's see. So yeah, my mother always sheltered me from graphic horror. My aunts would sneak a watch with me, and now horror sci-fi is all I watch. Yeah, a lot of people have that kind of story, you know. Yeah, Bava top 10 would be cool for sure. I haven't seen Hatchet for the Honeymoon. That's a Bava movie, and what I've heard about that movie sounds great. So I'm really interested in it. But yeah, I still haven't seen it. Ooh, my 6-year-old has expressed interest in horror, but I'm not sure what to start him on. You know, like if you have doubts about showing them like legit horror, start with like the gateway stuff. Like I think Casper is awesome. Like I love Casper from the 90s. Um, I think that would be a great option. One good, really good recent one is The House with the Clock in Its Walls. It's actually directed by Eli Roth, which is weird because it's nothing like anything else he's ever done. It's PG, it's a kids movie, but it's a little spookier than you would expect a modern kids movie to be. It's got some good spooky stuff to it, and it's got Jack Black in it, but it's a little better than the Goosebumps movie he was in. I'd recommend that. Yeah, The Gate. The Gate is PG-13, I'm pretty sure, and it's really fun. Yeah, cool. I yeah, a lot of times, I hear people talk about Eli Roth and they just kind of skip over that one, but I actually think it's one of his best movies. I genuinely think it is. Yo, we got Garrett, Born to be Rad. Super kick that like button. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you dropping in. Absolutely. I love family horror movies. I really do. Like I love gateway horror. It's just a good cozy vibe. I really enjoy that kind of thing. Yeah, yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I don't know. It almost seems like in America, at least, it's like decided now that like that's bad. But I just don't necessarily agree. Yeah. Oh, Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. Absolutely. I think it is important to expose kids to black and white films early. Because if you try to get them to watch black and white movies later, they're not used to it. It's gonna be a hard thing. But my dad was showing me black and white monster movies ever since I can remember, and I've just loved them forever. And I think that's really a good thing to do because I just don't think people should be just tied down to their own era. Like there's so much history, you know. Yeah, Scooby Doo Zombie Island scared me when I was a kid. I haven't rewatched this as an adult yet, but it scared me when I was a kid for sure. Yeah, society is absolutely. Yeah, Phantasm movies. Crazy thing. I've seen 1 through 3, but I still haven't seen 4 or 5. I've heard 5 is rough, so I'm well aware. But 4, yeah, I still haven't watched. First one is great. Second one is great. Third one, I remember not being a super big fan of, but I really should just do a rewatch of the series, honestly. Yeah, Dirty Work is one of the funniest comedies I have ever seen. The ridiculous joke where he's just yelling ridiculous. That is just one of the most deranged jokes I've ever seen in a movie, and it is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. And I was like crying laughing at that moment when I first saw it. Oh man. Yeah, Norm Macdonald is my favorite stand-up comic. And it's that thing, but I wasn't aware of him when he was alive. I found him after he passed. And I listen to his stand-up comedies or stand-up albums. He is the funniest comedian ever, I think. Yeah, the lack of respect hurts the most. Truly demented humor, but it's amazing. I love it. So good. Ooh, yeah, In Search of Darkness 90s edition part 2. Proud to say I'm a part of the promotional campaign for that. They asked me to provide them like a short for them to use in their promos, talking about 90s horror. So I gave it to them. They gave me a referral link. I still haven't distributed it. I need to get on that. But yeah, so they'll probably post that before long. So that'll be very cool. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much, Leo. I really appreciate that. Horrors of the Black Museum. I don't think I've seen that. Good recommendation. I'm always going to look for more 50s horror. Yeah, Japanese horror movies. I've been getting into it more over like the past year. I hadn't seen much until like the past year, and I've been watching more. My favorite still is The Snow Woman, which was included in that Japanese Gothic box set right back there from Radiance. It's a feature length version of the Snow Woman story in Kwaidan, which is much more well known. But that is my favorite Japanese horror film I've ever seen. I still think that is like such an emotionally impactful film and still has really creepy stuff. So good. Interview with the Vampire. I haven't seen it in a few years, but I like it, but I've never quite loved it. I think it's maybe been a little over melodramatic for me, but I do like it. And it's very beautifully made. The one thing that's super divisive about that movie is Tom Cruise. Some people hate him in that, some people love him. I don't think Tom Cruise is that good in it. He's kind of a problem for me. And Tom Cruise is like one of my favorite actors. Like as far as like mainstream movie stars, love Tom Cruise. I don't know, he doesn't super work for me in that movie. But I do think it's good, and I would never give it a bad review. Yeah, the Monster House is great. That's a great gateway horror. Monster Squad. I wish I'd seen Monster Squad when I was a kid. I was not aware of it when I was a kid. I would have loved it. I really need to. I mean, I love it now, but I think I would love it more if I saw it when I was a kid. I probably would. Yeah, I really just need to get on it. I have the box set and everything. I just need to pop it in. Yeah, I watched Twilight Zone when I was a kid. Yeah, those are just great stories. I think anybody can get into them. Let's see. Yes, I love Visiting Hours. Visiting Hours is truly one of the most intense slasher movies like ever made. And it's a Canadian movie, came out in the early 80s. You got Michael Ironside as the killer. It's brutal. It's really, really good. It's included on a double Scream Factory double pack with Bad Dreams. And Bad Dreams is the one that gets all the love, but Visiting Hours I think is better. Ooh, I bumped my table. Everything shook. Let's see. Yeah, The Exorcist at 6, that's rough. Because even as an adult, I'll watch Exorcist and just be like, geez, this is a lot. Like it's really they go all the way in that movie. There's nothing held back. So yeah, that would be rough as at 6, for sure. You're not currently watching Blowout. You're currently watching the Cobwebs channel. No, that's very cool. I love Blowout. Brian De Palma rules. Yeah, In Search of Darkness. Yeah, thank you. I still haven't seen Serial Mom. That's one I've always been meaning to watch. I've not seen Thanksgiving. No, that I don't know if it's my thing, but one of these days, maybe this year, I'll do a Thanksgiving horror list, and then it'll surely be on there. So I saw the Snow Woman in a box set from Radiance Films, Japanese Gothic. It's a Japanese Gothic Blu-ray box set. That's how I saw it. I don't know if you can officially stream it. If you ever want to know if you can stream something, I highly recommend the website or the app, Just Watch. I have the app on my phone. You can search any movie. It'll tell you exactly where it's streaming. So you can check that. But also, you can just Google it and click under videos and it'll come up. Like I did that in order to like get some extra clips for my review of it. So you can just Google the movie and click videos. A lot of older movies, you can just watch them that way. That's just kind of an under the table tip right there. But yeah, check if it's officially streaming. But I do recommend that box set because all of the movies are good. It's a really good box. Oh yeah, The Empty Man. Really, really, really good. Absolutely. Oh, my thoughts on Coppola's Dracula. Jeez, one of the most controversial movies on my channel. I am like obsessed with Coppola's Dracula. I think it is well, it's like a masterpiece for me. I know it technically isn't because of Keanu Reeves, really. But I think it's incredible. I think it's the best Dracula movie, just technically. It's amazing. But anytime I talk about it, people get really angry in the comments. People are really upset about Coppola's Dracula. Like people really hate it. They act like it's the Last Jedi or something. Like, geez, It's been over 30 years since it came out, but people get very upset about that movie. And they get very upset about Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. When I talk about that movie, people get real upset in the comment section. So there's something about modern Dracula adaptations. But yeah, I absolutely love Coppola's Dracula. No, I haven't. I'm generally not super into the super disturbing stuff. I have seen High Tension. Honestly, I didn't think High Tension was that extreme or disturbing. Um, I just thought the ending was so dumb. Like I just didn't buy it. I didn't think the movie just built that up at all. Um, so otherwise a good movie. I just thought the ending really wasn't good. Martyrs is like the top movie. Well, not quite. It's one of the top movies I'm too scared to watch. Like I generally am. It just everything I've heard about it seems like something I don't want to go there. And Inside, I just don't know too much about, but I've heard that one's super extreme as well. Um, I've never done a Ray Harryhausen list, but it would be fun because I really like Ray Harryhausen. Speculation with the two secret Vinegar Syndrome releases will be announced tomorrow. I think they're getting announced tonight, actually, at midnight, but 11 p.m. for me, Central Time. I think one is the Sentinel, and I when I first like read the description of like what it'd be, it was like a disturbing 70s classic, never before on 4K. I don't know. I just really think it's the Sentinel. The Sentinel hasn't been on physical media since a Scream Factory Blu-ray years ago. It's never been on 4K. It's a beloved movie. And I just think it fits really well under Vinegar Syndrome. Vinegar Syndrome. I mean, it's a Michael Winner movie. It's a little sleazy and exploitative. I think it fits them really well. I think that's what it's going to be. The other one I don't know. I think the other one is 90s, and I just don't know. But that's my one speculation. I have seen Stakeland. Wasn't a big fan for a couple of reasons. One, I don't like vampire movies where the vampires are like indistinguishable from zombies. And that's what Stakeland is. Like, it's basically a zombie apocalypse movie. They just happen to call them vampires, but they're basically zombies. I just don't really like that kind of vampires. Like 30 Days of Night is almost that, but they're still intelligent. They speak, they have a culture and a language. So it works for me. But Stakeland is basically just zombies. And then it's just like so bleak and depressing that I almost can't get into it. Sometimes when a movie is like too hardcore on just being bleak and depressing, it doesn't even feel real to me anymore. I don't know. Like I just couldn't really get into it. So I wasn't a big fan of it, unfortunately. But it's cool that it's starring Nick Demichi though, because he was also the star of Late Phases, which I really like. Yeah, rewatch Anthropophagus and Absurd with your mom. How about that? Yeah, Anthropophagus is pretty slow for sure. Absurd, I have owned it on Blu-ray from Severin for years, and I've never watched it in full. I put it on once many years ago and couldn't get into it and just kind of bailed on it. But I will. I do want to give it a second chance, especially now that I've actually seen Anthropophagus. Let's see. Yeah, Current Echo. Good. That was the first Japanese horror film I ever saw. That's good. Thoughts on Signs? I love Signs. I think it's amazing. Like it's one of my top alien horror films ever made. Very creepy, but like it's so emotional in like such a powerful way. I just love it. Let's see. Ooh, I really want to watch The Devil's Nightmare. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm aware of it, and like it's kind of hard to get a hold of, so I need to find a good copy. I do really want to watch it. Yeah, this is another one that people ask me about a lot. The Other, I haven't seen it, but I do really want to because it's been recommended to me many times. I'm thinking about soon just doing just like a 70s horror list in general because there are actually quite a few 70s horror movies right now that I'm wanting to check out. So I may just do that and I use that as an excuse to talk about that movie. Let's see. A film score nerd. I wouldn't say a nerd, but I do love a good film score. In my opinion, the greatest film score of all time is Jurassic Park. John Williams. Man, nothing touches Jurassic Park. My favorite horror movie score is Halloween. How do you beat Halloween? Oh my God. It's so simple, but so amazing. But then at least as far as horror movies, Suspiria, The Wolfman, I think the original The Wolfman with Lon Chaney Jr. is so underrated for its score. It is a score that is so good. Almost every Universal Monsters movie that came out after it just rips it off and just reuses it because it's just that good. That's top. The Exorcist is an incredible score. The Omen, holy cow. The Omen score is like the most satanic thing I've ever heard in my life. And it's so awesome. Yeah, those are a few of my favorites. Yeah, Ju-on The Grudge. Just talked about it in my last video, actually. So I just recently saw it. And I love Frank Langella Dracula. Absolutely. Let's see. We got over 200. We have over 220 people in here. Absolute insanity. Okay, I think let's play a round of the game. So here's what we're going to do. Start putting horror movies that you want to hear me talk about, hearing me rank in the chat right now. I'm not going to scroll up and like go to all of the ones earlier. We're just going to do them right now, especially since those people up there, I don't even know if they're still in here anymore. So throw some horror movies into the chat, and I'm going to pick the first 10 that I have seen, and I've seen recently enough that I remember it well enough. And I will start putting them into a list. And I'm going to share my screen. I've got a Letterbox list pulled up, and we're going to do this through Letterbox. By the way, I have to say, this idea is not original to me. This idea was originally from a horror YouTuber named, I'm trying to get this comment off of the screen, and I honestly don't know how. Oh, there we go. Came from a YouTuber called Drum Dums. Really, I've never talked to him in person or over a stream or anything, but he just seems like the coolest guy. He just seems so nice, like the nicest guy. His name is Lee. So over at the channel Drum Dums, he does this on his live stream sometimes. And I messaged him recently. I said like, hey, I love this thing you do. Do you mind if I steal this for one of my streams? And he said, absolutely. So I just want to say full permission to rip off Drum Dums. And that's what we're doing. So I'm going to present. Okay. Yep. Perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. So I'm going to scroll up and pick the first 10 movies. We got a lot of movies in here, so we'll probably do a couple of rounds of this. Holy cow, these came in fast. Let's go. Oh, here we go. Killer Party is the first movie. '80s slasher goodness. Then we've got People Under the Stairs. This would be easier if I had two monitors. I really should get a second monitor, honestly. Then we've got, oh my gosh, we've got Sleepaway Camp. Sleepaway Camp is going to be discussed in my next video. I'm going to tell you guys right now, next video dropping on Sunday, summer camp slashers. We're talking summer camp slashers, ringing in the summer season. Sleepaway Camp will absolutely be discussed. Next movie is Pontypool. I'll be honest, I cannot remember if I've seen Pontypool. And I thought about this before that like, have I watched that? I think I have, but I don't remember it. Oh, next we got The Devil's Candy. I love The Devil's Candy, so this is a great list so far. I'm going to hit the rank button so that I know how many we've got so far. Ooh, The Kindred. Fantastic. I love this list. This is great, guys. And, oh, we got AVA Pop Culture in the house. Not suggesting a movie. That's cool. But hey, man, so good to see you in here. Chase, good boy. House of Wax. I don't know what House of Wax you mean, but I'm going to assume you're talking about the Vincent Price one. So we're going to go Vincent Price. 1953. Blair Witch. I'm not sure if you mean the original Blair Witch Project or the 2015 Blair Witch. I've seen the 2015 Blair Witch. I don't really remember it because I've told this story in a stream before, but like it was one of my first dates with my wife. We went to see that and we didn't pay attention. So, next we've got Mosquito. I haven't seen it. Horror Express. I have seen it. It's been a while, and honestly, it didn't stick in my brain really. So I don't remember it super well, so we're not going to do that one. The Omen 2 we can do. There we go. Damien, Omen 2. Scream of the Wolf I've never seen. The Ritual, we can do that. Well, there you go. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Why not? The Fog. Oh, that's the last one. Okay. The Fog. Here we've got our 10. So, as a recap, Killer Party, People Under Stairs, Sleepaway Camp, Devil's Candy, Kindred, House of Wax, Damien 2, Ritual, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and The Fog. The bottom of this list is a super easy choice for me, and that is The Omen 2. I have seen The Omen 2 once, and I just think it pales in comparison so much to the original, The Omen. I'm trying to remember who the lead in that is. Somebody help me out with who the lead, because he's a class. Is it William Holden? Is William Holden the lead in the Omen 2? Scroll on the bottom, see if somebody's. I think it's William Holden. Not as good in the movie as Gregory Peck, and I just thought it was like, I don't know. It's another one I don't remember super well, but I remember well enough to say that I wasn't a big fan of it. I picked all of these from the YouTube chat, so I don't know what you're talking about, Michael. It was just way up there because there's like 1,000 movies in the chat. But I started with the top of when I said we were going to start the game, and then I picked the first 10 that I'd seen. Okay, somebody said yes. Yeah, William Holden. So not a big fan of The Omen 2. Now it gets tough because I am a big fan of all the rest of these movies. No, actually, it's not tough. We're going to go Killer Party at number 9. Fun movie. Fun supernatural slasher movie. Supernatural in some really weird and wacky ways, too. It's a very silly movie, especially when a certain character gets possessed towards the end. But it's a blast, and it's a college set slasher. And I just really enjoy that kind of thing. Yeah, I think The Omen 2 is a bit of a letdown. But I know some people like it better than The Omen, which I think is pretty shocking. Let's see. Next, we're gonna... You know, it's crazy, but I'm gonna put People Under the Stairs at number 8. Even though I have a poster. I have a poster of it in my basement right now. I think it's terrific. It's one of my favorite Wes Craven movies. It's one of those movies that like has really good social commentary to it, but it's really well orchestrated into the story. It's really organic, and it feels like Wes Craven's really got something to say, but it's so skillfully done. And the actors are good. The couple is so wild and crazy. I love that kid, Fool. He's such a good protagonist. I think it's really good, but doesn't... Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm almost thinking The Kindred should have been number 8. It maybe should have. But I'm gonna stick with it. So The Kindred goes with number 7. Great creature feature. Man, the monster. This is a movie where the monster is the show. And the monster is so awesome. God, I love it. I love the practical effects. The characters are good. I don't think the characters are amazing, but they're good. They're good enough. It's got that one British woman who's also in Leviathan. I just recently watched Leviathan. I was like, it's the woman from The Kindred. That's crazy. I do really, really like The Kindred. I'm thinking it maybe should have been below People Under the Stairs, but we're going to stick with it. This gets harder and harder. Gosh, this is terrible. This is terrible. I'm going to see if anybody has anything to say in the chat. Not really about the ranking. Okay, I am going to go with Sleepaway Camp at number 6. And I love Sleepaway Camp. You will hear about how much I love Sleepaway Camp in Sunday's video. It is a masterpiece of movies that feel like they were made by a true psychopath. Like, that movie feels like it is so deranged. And I find it so entertaining because of it. Like, every character in that movie is so angry. It is such an aggressive movie, and like all the dialogue, like everyone is so pissed off all the time. It has so many amazing lines. Like, the dialogue is bug nuts crazy, but it's so entertaining. But then it really is like one of the most satisfying summer camp slashers ever. Like, it really just delivers on being a summer camp movie and being a slasher movie. And the ending is so awesome. But I'm going to put The Devil's Candy at number 5. I do love The Devil's Candy. I am... maybe it should have been below.
Keep second guessing myself. These two are super close, but The Devil's Candy is so different because Sleepaway Camp is like such a bonkers horror classic, but then Devil's Candy is like such an emotional horror movie for me. Like I just love the characters in that movie so much. I just think it's a really, really effective, and it's disturbing when it needs to be, but it's those characters that just keeps me going to it. It's so good. Then, ooh, we got Devil's Candy higher than Sleepaway Camp. Yeah, and I may even disagree with myself. Sometimes I even look back at my own list and I'm like, I disagree with myself. Yeah, the kills in Sleepaway Camp are crazy because like it's not just slice and dice kind of thing. They're really weird. Like the bees, they're very creative. Yeah, and I knew the ending to Sleepaway Camp before I saw it. Just being in like horror fan circles, kind of can't hear but hear it, but it's still done in a really shocking way that it like still really hit, you know. Okay, so top four. Gosh. It's crazy. The first time I saw The Ritual, I thought it was good, not great. And then I rewatched it and I thought it was pretty incredible. So it's kind of shocking that I'm even thinking about it at this point. But I am going to go with The Ritual at 4. It is such a great folk horror movie. Like the creature in that is just such an amazing design and it looks so good. And I just love how effective it is at being about like my thing with The Ritual. I think it's one of the best horror movies ever at being about masculinity and being like a men's horror movie. Like I think it speaks to the male experience so well, and that it's about this guy who suddenly found himself in a life or death situation and his friend died and he probably couldn't have done anything about it, but he's like carrying so much guilt with him because he feels like he should have tried something, but he was just paralyzed with fear. And I don't know, just like, I just think as a man, you got to just feel that. And that like, you know, you always hope you can step up and be the hero when the time comes. And sometimes you find you can't. And how do you deal with that? And I just think it's really profound. It's such a great movie. And the acting is so good. I love the wood setting. Almost talking myself into like every time I place one, I disagree. But then number 3 definitely has to be House of Wax. It's one of my favorite Vincent Price movies. It's just classic horror 50s goodness. It's a 3D movie, so it's got the crazy 3D effects. The Ritual is probably a better movie, but House of Wax is so entertaining, and House of Vincent Price is so awesome in it. And then the next two are easy. Texas Chainsaw Massacre at 2, The Fog at 1, which a lot of people would disagree with. A lot of people think Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the greatest horror movie ever made. I get that. It's not for me. And The Fog is like a top. Fog could be in my top 5 horror movies, maybe. Like I really just everything about The Fog is amazing for me. But so is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But The Fog is a little bit more my vibe, you know. And I think anybody who watches this channel regularly probably gets that. Yep. Somebody else says The Fog wins it. Oh, somebody else says totally agree. Very cool. Yeah, for a long time, The Fog was my favorite Carpenter movie. I'm not positive if it is anymore, but it's always like Halloween, The Thing, The Fog are always just kind of rotating. You got to understand how much I love Vincent Price, dude. Like, I really, really love Vincent Price. Absolutely. Yeah, Chase gets it. He knows how great The Fog is. It's a warm blanket horror movie. 100%. Okay. So let's take a break from this game. That was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We'll do another round of this. But right now, I'm going to unbox this package. Viewer of the channel, friend of the show, podcaster extraordinaire, Mark Bessinger. He basically he upgrades a lot of his Blu-rays to 4K. And when he does it, he kind of just sends me the Blu-ray disc cards a lot, which I really appreciate because I'm not a 4K purist. So I'll gladly take those Blu-rays. So he sent me another package of them. He told me what's in it. I'm struggling to remember. So this is exciting to me to find out what's in here. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, yeah. Somebody said the original Fog is good. Hated the remake. You know what? I have not seen the remake. And the only time in my life I've ever heard anyone say a single positive thing about that movie was in the past week or so. And it was Chase for Pop Culture. He did a video where he praised that movie. And I was like, okay, I respect a bold opinion and taking an underrated stance. I respect it, but I haven't seen it yet. But that was the first time in my life I ever even considered watching that movie. So I still haven't seen it. Okay, let's bust in. First up, we've got... Ooh, yes. Zoltan, Hound of Dracula. This is probably got to be in a bonkers horror list soon, or maybe just a 70s exploitation list. Never seen this. Heard about it for a long time. Heard how nuts it is. This is a Kino Blu-ray. I love me some Kino. So very, very exciting. Thank you so much, Mark. Then we've got... Oh yeah, Willy's Wonderland. Haven't seen it. I've heard good things about this ever since it came out, and I just haven't gotten around to it. I love Nicolas Cage. I know this is famous for being a movie where Nicolas Cage never speaks, which is interesting. You know, I think Nicolas Cage is an amazing actor, so that's a challenge I'll gladly watch him do. So yeah, I'll check this out. Then we got, slipcovered. Oh yes, very excited for this. Silent Scream. So this just got announced on 4K. Kino Lorber's putting it out on 4K. And I'd never heard of it before. But when I saw that announcement, I was like, that looks cool. I mean, look at that cover. It was the same exact cover art on the 4K. And I just thought it looked so cool. And it's a 70s horror movie. Oh no, it's 1980. My mistake. It's barely an 80s movie. But it looks like my vibe. And somebody just recently commented on one of my videos and was saying, hey, you got to watch and talk about Silent Scream. And I was like, Mark's sending that to me. So that's probably going to happen soon. Very, very cool. That's the one I'm most excited about so far. I feel another slipcover. Very cool. Oh, yeah. Original Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Crazy thing. I don't own this movie. I've seen it so many times, but it's just one of those movies that like, it's always on streaming for free. Like there are certain movies where I just know like for some reason it's always free on streaming. And I've even seen it in a theater once. So like anytime I felt like watching it, it's always been there. And therefore I've never felt like motivated to go out and buy it. But I'm very happy to have it in my collection now because it is one of my favorite movies. It's amazing. And this is an olive Blu-ray. They are since out of business. They don't exist anymore. And Kino Lorber put it on 4K recently. So I'm sure that's why Mark is getting rid of it. But yes, thank you, Mark. So that's a heck of a haul. I'm very excited to watch all of those. Okay. Let's see. I'm scrolling through the chat, see if there's anything to catch up on. Oh, cool. I wonder if you were the one that commented to me about it recently. Maybe not, but somebody just commented about it on the channel. Oh, does Silent Scream have Barbara Steele? It does. I didn't even look at the cast list. It's got Barbara Steele. Oh, and Yvonne DiCarlo, Lily Munster herself, and the other people I don't recognize. But yeah, now I'm even more excited. Love Barbara Steele. Awesome. Ooh, cool. Somebody said Silent Scream really scared them as a kid. Awesome. I still haven't seen The Sadness. That's a Shudder movie that I've heard is amazing. I still haven't seen it. Yeah, I'm just going through. Ooh, fun bonkers dogs. Dog exploitation. I love it. I love it when exploitation gets put at the end of a word for a genre. Love it. Glenn Chase Powell. Are people comparing Chase to Glenn Powell? Glenn Powell is probably my wife's top celebrity crush right now. She's always down to watch a Glenn Powell movie. Yeah, I have Race with the Devil, but just in that Shout Factory double pack with Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry, which is not near as good a movie as Race with the Devil is. I just recently almost watched American Gothic. It's on Tubi, but I didn't. I ended up watching something else instead. But I want to watch American Gothic. I think it looks good. Okay, let's do another round of the game. So I'm going to delete out the old picks. We're going to start over. And I'm going to scroll back up and get the next 10 picks that people put in. And rest assured, these are all coming from the chat. I'm just scrolling way up to find them. Nope, nope. Almost there, almost there. I'm trying to find where I left off. This is great radio, right? I'm just trying to find. There are so many. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right, there's the ritual. There's the fog. Okay, that's where we left off. The fog was the last one. So, Crimson Peak is going to be the first one. So I'm going to present my screen again. All right, Crimson Peak. Guillermo del Toro goodness. Big fan of that movie. Jason X. I can't do it. I can't. I've seen it once. I watched it with a group of friends. We all thought it was pretty bad. but I feel like that wasn't the setting to truly give it a chance, and I've never tried to watch it again. So I can't rank it. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Legend of Boggy Creek I can rank. So we'll do that one next. What a strange movie that is. Lake Mungo. Absolutely. A lot of people hate Lake Mungo too. One thing that you'll discover if you're on a YouTube channel on movies that puts in a lot of comments, Blood and Satan Claw, cool, is every opinion is out there. Every possible opinion. And it's cool. I like it. The Changeling, absolutely. I feel like this is shaping up. This is shaping up to be a very classy list. Ooh, we got Evil Dead. Here's the thing. I don't know what Evil Dead movie you're talking about, but technically the only movie that is just called Evil Dead is the remake or sequel, depending on what you think, but for long from 2013. So I'm going to do that one because technically the original is called The Evil Dead. So I'm going to trust you. I'm going to trust you that you got their title right. The Night Flyer, right on. Yes. Toby Hooper's The Funhouse. Thank you, sir. I respect you. I love that movie. It's so underrated. That movie's like the definition of underrated. Drag Me to Hell. We got a little bit of a Sam Raimi thing going on. One more. Don't know that. Oh, there you go. Scream. Technically, there's also two movies called Scream, but I'm going to trust that you mean the original. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. So we got Crimson Peak, Legend of Boggy Creek, Lake Mungo, Blood on Satan's Claw, The Changeling, Evil Dead, Night Flyer, Funhouse, Drag Me to Hell, and Scream. So what is the word? This is a really good list, but I think it's easy that the bottom is The Night Flyer, but it's really good. But it is a TV movie. It doesn't quite have the same gravitas as the rest of these, I don't think. The rest of these are just so... No, wait. No. I forgot about The Legend of Boggy Creek. Legend of Boggy Creek absolutely goes at the bottom. I missed it at first. Yeah, Legend of Boggy Creek is like barely a movie. It's like sort of a movie, sort of a faux documentary. It's interesting because they like interviewed a lot of real people just about Bigfoot and such. Doesn't really have a plot, doesn't really have characters. It's a movie that I literally had to pause halfway through to take a nap because it's such a lullaby of a movie. Like it just put me to sleep. And then I woke up and then I finished the movie. The good thing about it though is when you see Bigfoot, it is creepy because you don't see him real clearly. You just see this lumbering, super hairy figure walking like in the background, blurry, and it's almost kind of haunting. So that's the stuff that's really good about it. And it just feels very authentic, but it's not that much of a movie. So it has to go at the bottom. Let's see. Yeah. Making sure we're paying attention. Yeah, absolutely. So The Night Flyer is number 9. Yeah. I feel great about that. Fantastic about it. And then, you know what? I mean, with those options, it's got to be Crimson Peak at number 8, but I think Crimson Peak is great. I love Guillermo del Toro. I think it's such a good, classy haunted house movie. Though, you know, the weird thing about when Crimson Peak came out, the discourse around it is people were mad about it because they were saying it's not a horror movie. They market it as a horror movie. It's not a horror movie. It's a gothic romance film. And I'm like, shut up. It's a ghost movie. It's got brutal kills in it, like brutal kills. And you've got terrifying looking ghosts that straight up look like monsters. Like, just because it's also a gothic romance movie doesn't mean it's a horror movie. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So it totally delivers. Ghost movie, haunted house film, all the way. Great movie. Now it's tough. It's really tough. It's going to be Blood on Satan's Claw at number 7. Great movie. I love that. That's like, if you want to tell somebody exactly what a stereotypical folk horror movie is, I might point to Blood on Satan's Claw. It's not the best folk horror movie, but it's like the purest example of exactly what that genre is. And I just love the period of it in the countryside of England, and people worried about the kids going to the woods to worship the devil. And there actually is the devil in the woods. It's real. And it's great. I just love it. But it's got to go at number 7 under all these. Okay. It just gets harder and harder. Gosh, how am I supposed to do this? I almost want to do something horrifically controversial. I think I'm going to do it. Scream. Scream staying right there at 6. Scream is my number 6. I know, man, people are going to be mad. Scream is it. I would say it's the most popular horror movie right now. Like, I think the most popular horror movie used to be Halloween. And I think with the next generation, it's now Scream. Especially like if you like younger women like love Scream, and like any like YouTube channel run by a younger person, like they're obsessed with Scream. So Scream is the big deal. And I love it. I'm just like not as passionate about it. It's not like I don't have like a lot of Scream stuff in my basement. It's like not my franchise, but it's a terrific movie. Like, I have no complaints about it. It's a really good franchise. You know, I think a lot of people say Scream is the best franchise because it's the most like consistent. And it probably is the most consistent, either that or Evil Dead. But I almost think that's one reason I'm less interested in it, because like my favorite horror franchise is Halloween, and I just love the weird ebbs and flows of that franchise. Like, you kind of never know what the hell you're going to get with a Halloween movie. And I kind of love that. I love how eclectic it is, idiosyncratic it is. And Scream is it's Scream. It's very consistent. It's all the same. Not exactly, but kind of. And I think that makes me a little less interested in it. But Scream is great. But I am going to put it below the rest of these. Okay, so what's going to be my number 5? My number 5 is going to be... Gosh. You know, it's funny. Of all of these, the one I would rewatch the least is easily Lake Mungo. But I kind of feel like rewatchability is overrated in terms of rating movies. Like, people come down on rewatchability all the time, and not every movie is made to be rewatchable, you know? Like, Lake Mungo is not made to be rewatched over and over. It's made to like scare the living hell out of you once, or maybe twice. In my case, I've seen it twice and it scared the living hell out of me both times. So I don't think 5 can be Lake Mungo. The Funhouse. Funhouse is going to be my number 5. It's awesome. I just love it. I love Tobe Hooper. It's like maybe the best example of exactly who Tobe Hooper is. Cause like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is his biggest movie, but like, I feel like the Funhouse is so representative of who he is as a filmmaker. And I just love that for it. And it's so beautifully shot. And I love the monster in it. And I even like the characters, particularly the main character, and her relationship with that guy is like interesting. And I love the setting, the carnival setting, so much. It's awesome. Then I'm going to go Lake Mungo. Cause it's a mockumentary kind of thing, kind of like Boggy Creek, but much more of a real movie with like, it's very emotional, and the characters and stuff is just incredible. And it's such a fascinating mystery, and it is legitimately so scary, like super, super scary. Then I'm going to go Evil Dead Remake. Evil Dead Remake, when I saw it in theaters, was the goriest movie I'd ever seen by far. Like in 2013, I had never seen anything like that. And it was so fun. It felt like an adrenaline, like a crazy adrenaline rush watching that. I saw it with some friends and we just had such a blast. It's such a gory good time. And I think it's great. These two are tough because they're so different, right? Like this is one of my favorite classy ghost stories. And this is like my favorite fun 2000s movie. Like I love Drag Me to Hell so much. I think it's so awesome. I'm going to go with The Changeling at 2 and Drag Me to Hell with 1. That's what I'm going to go with. Because The Changeling, man, amazing George C. Scott performance, a very emotional film. Drag Me to Hell is just one of the most fun movies I've ever seen. Like it is so blissfully entertaining and it's so energetic. And I just think it's one of Sam Raimi's best movies, even if it's not always given that credit. So that's what I got. Legend of Boggy Creek, Night Flyer, Crimson Peak, Blood on Satan's Claw, Scream, Funhouse, Lake Mungo, Evil Dead, The Changeling, Drag Me to Hell. There we go. Let's see. I mean, it does in terms of like intensity and gore for sure, but I do like Drag Me to Hell as a movie better personally. Let's see. Yeah, now I would say Dead Alive is gorier, but I hadn't seen Dead Alive at that point. I really want to watch Dead Alive again because, you know, it's so hard to get a hold of, and I was able to see it once because I rented it from Netflix DVD, but I would love to see it again. Let's see. Absolutely, Laura. I've seen Andy Warhol's Dracula, otherwise known as Blood for Dracula. I talked about it in my video on my top 70s vampire movies, which I was just looking back at that video recently. I just noticed that video is at almost 100,000 views. Just crazy that 70s vampire movies got that many views. So that was really cool. But yeah, I almost said Blood on Satan's Claw again. Blood for Dracula is awesome. It is so... That is a truly demented, vile movie. And I love it for that. Like, it just goes so far into bad taste. And it's so entertaining and disgusting in, like, a really good way. Oh, yeah, Sorority Babes and Slimeball Bolorama. I saw that in a theater. I went to see, like, I went to see a mini horror marathon at a theater. And they played a few Linnea Quigley movies, and I saw Return of the Living Dead there. Not for the first time, but I saw it. But I did see Sorority Babes Slime Bowl Bolorama there, and Linnea Quigley was there, and I got to meet her. And she was very nice. It was very cool. Yeah, Lake Mungo. It's really like the scariest thing to be in a movie for me is if characters are looking back at pictures or at a video they took and they notice something paranormal in the background that they didn't notice at first. Like that's the scariest thing. And Lake Mungo is like maybe the best example of that. It's so, so good. I actually haven't seen the Night Configuration. No, I wasn't really aware of it. I don't know if I'd ever heard of it. And then I did that video on Asylum horror movies and people were commenting about it. I can't believe I didn't come across it. But yeah, so I'll have to see it. Rashomon from Kurosawa. Not a horror movie, but a good movie. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Disappointing fishing trip. Yeah, boy. Session 9 is the scariest movie I've seen in quite a while. It's the scariest movie I've seen this year at least. Thank you, Laura. I really, really appreciate that. I feel like I have to blow my nose, so I'm going to mute for just... Okay. I don't think I've ever seen that happen to anyone else on a live stream, but it just happened here. Ooh, top 3 Paul Naschy movies. I think my number 1 is The Hunchback of the Morgue. And my number 2 is Horror Rises from the Tomb. And my number 3 is Night of the Werewolf. Yeah, I feel good about that. I think that's right. Love Paul Naschy. Let's see. Yeah, Sentinel's great, for sure. Thank you, Larry. Appreciate you. Larry was with me at one of the 24-hour marathons, so shout out Larry. Yes, I have seen The Dentist with Corbin Burnson, the dad from Psych. I got the Vestra on Blu-ray. It's over there, and I saw it that way, and I liked it. The second one is on there too, and I haven't watched the second one yet, but I did like the first one. Corbin Burnson is just really good in that movie. Really good. He might be an underrated actor. Thank you so much, Mephisto. Really, really appreciate that. Oh, V. Yeah. Wild, wild movie. Absolutely. I have seen Don't Torture Ducklings. Been a long time, so I'm not sure like I could tell you how much I love it or anything. But I remember it was very interesting. It's very different for a Giallo. So if you go into it like, I'm going to watch a Giallo, it's not really going to deliver the experience you think it's going to. It's much more like country, more kid focused, but still sleazy in some ways. But the one thing I do remember is when the guy's falling off a cliff at the end and it's such an obvious dummy and his like face scrapes up against the rock of the cliff and there's like a spark. That's one thing that I've never forgotten about that movie. Let's see. Yeah, I think so. Yes. Do you agree there's not enough werewolf movies? I think I would agree with that. I think people have trouble finding enough different plots to do with it. I think that's the problem that people run into. Because I'm very much like my favorite kind of werewolf story is a traditional story, which is The Wolfman, which is American Werewolf in London. I like a tragic story about somebody being cursed and the tragedy of that. Like that's my favorite kind of werewolf story. But I think filmmakers feel like it's overdone and they try a lot of different things. And there's other good examples of it for sure. But that's my theory at least. Also probably expense because you got to make that werewolf look good. So you probably got to have really good practical effects because there are a lot of movies with CGI werewolves. And I think the days of those being tolerated are over. I don't think anyone's tolerant of CGI werewolves anymore. So you got to have really good practical effects and that takes money. So I think that might be another problem, but I love werewolves. Absolutely love them. And I do think there's a lot more good werewolf movies than people think. Like I hear a lot of people say like, there's the Wolfman, American Werewolf London, The Howling, maybe Silver Bullet, but like there's nothing else good. And that's so not true. Like I could name you 20 werewolf movies that are good. And a lot of people don't bother to look for them, I think. But I wish there was more for sure. Did you like Zombie 3? No, but like kind of. I don't remember it super well, but I do remember my Letterboxd review for it. And I said like, two of the craziest things I've ever seen in a horror movie are both in Zombie 3. So there's that. Yeah, Pet Sematary is one of my favorite movies of all time. Love it. What movie really left you haunted for days afterwards? Mine was Hereditary. Yeah. Hereditary is another movie that I've discovered a lot of people hate. And I think sometimes it's just when something's popular, it just gets blowback. Because if you were to ask me what is the biggest horror classic of the past 10 years, I think it's Hereditary. I think that's the one that's left the biggest impact. But yeah, I love Hereditary. What movie left me haunted? Days is tough. I don't really have that kind of thing, but I will be haunted. Like after I saw Session 9 recently, I was pretty freaked out and I was watching it alone in my basement and I like booked it upstairs after it was over to my bedroom, over in my room where my wife was. And I was like, I just watched the scariest movie. Oh my God. Session 9's up there. Since I was a kid, I can't think of an answer, but like when I was a kid, The Fly from the 50s with Vincent Price, the scariest movie I ever saw when I was a kid. Top 10 favorite I'm guessing you mean Top 10 favorite non-Paul Naschy werewolf films. So you want me to do a top 10 werewolf movies but exclude Paul Naschy? I don't want to do that. I want to include Paul Naschy. But maybe you mean Paul Naschy non-werewolf films. And then I don't know if it's really worth doing that. I think maybe what I would rather do is just do a bigger list and include both his werewolf movies and his non-werewolf movies. Because I think I would want to use that video as like an introduction to people to Paul Naschy, because Paul Naschy is still really underseen nowadays. So I wouldn't want to kick out his werewolf movies. Top 10 Jeffrey Combs films. Ooh, Jeffrey Combs is great. Number 1, From Beyond. I can tell you that right now. Oh yeah, I've been hearing about that movie recently, and I need to watch that. Yeah, thank you for shouting that out. I've never seen Street Trash, so my answer is New York Ripper. But yeah, it's crazy. I still have never seen Street Trash. Yeah, Count Dracula's Great Love is real good. That's wild. It's a really weird movie. It's like if you go into Paul Nash's Count Dracula's Great Love thinking like I'm gonna watch a Dracula movie, it's different. It's pretty weird. It's not exactly gonna give you the experience you expect. One-off slasher movies that didn't get a sequel might be a good video. I feel like I've done that a lot. I've done a lot of slasher lists, and they're often focused on non-slash. Like I did 2 underrated 80s slasher lists, and I don't think anything in any of those videos got a sequel. So I've done that a couple of times. Oh, we're talking Joe Dante, Gremlins, Burbs, Love Small Soldiers. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, let's see. Yeah, Curse the Werewolf with Oliver Reed. Love that movie. Absolutely love it. Truly, An American Werewolf in Paris, I think is one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And I think some people might think that's dramatic, but good God, that movie is so awful. And for a while in that movie, I thought like, this is terrible, but kind of in a funny way that I'm kind of entertained. Like when the main guy is, he's first meeting Julie Delphi from the Before movies, and they're starting to bond. It's so badly done, but in like a funny way that I was like, okay, I'm kind of enjoying this. When he becomes a werewolf, my God, the movie just dies. Like the movie has nothing left to offer. It's just dead. And the effects are so atrocious. I hate that movie. Thoughts on Ari Aster? I love Hereditary. I do love Midsommar. When I did like a top folk horror video, it was a little lower on the list, which I feel like made people think I don't love it, but I do. I think it's really great. I think that the great thing about Midsommar is it sparks so much conversation and debate. Like anyone who watches Midsommar has got a strong opinion on it, especially about the relationship. And I think I really respect that. It's a movie that really it's thought provoking for people, for like everyone who's seen it. I've never seen Beau is Afraid. Still have never seen it. So yeah, that's my thought on these 3 movies. Yeah, there's so many people I want to collab with. I'll just throw it out. I would love to collab with the Horror Geek with Mike Bracken. I still haven't figured out like a format or the tech to like do some kind of podcast style conversation. But for quite a while now, I've been thinking about how I would like to do that, but I kind of need to figure it out because I don't want to use StreamYard because I wouldn't want to use the free version because like I don't like this logo up here and stuff. But StreamYard's really expensive if you want to pay them. So I'd have to figure out something else. But yeah, Drum Dums especially, I would love to talk to him. He just seems like the coolest guy. See you, Ben. Thank you so much for dropping by. Let's see. Yeah, I think Bad Moon is awesome. Just love it. Such a fun movie. I think the CGI werewolf in Van Helsing is good enough, but I wouldn't call it good. Like it's still kind of bad CGI. But that movie is so aggressively corny that it works. It fits the tone of the movie. You know, it's not a movie that's begging to be believed, you know, for sure. So it's good enough for me. Let's see. Oh, we got Chase as a Hereditary denier. Yeah, I've got so many Hereditary deniers in my comments. So I thought everybody loved that movie. And then I found out that is not the case. Too bad. I think it's awesome. I don't know about The Woman in White. I've seen The Lady in White, which maybe you mean. And I did talk about it in last October's Halloween movies list. And it's a movie that's grown on me. I wasn't so sure about it the first time, but it's grown on me a lot. I like Werewolf Within. That's that comedy one. And I don't think it's Josh Rubin, actually. It's directed by Josh Rubin. I think Hard Eyes is a big step up. I think Hard Eyes is a lot better, but I do like Werewolves Within. It's good. Yep, me too. That movie was absolutely terrifying in the theater. Like it's a lot to take in. We got Andy Gorham in the house. Thank you so much for dropping by, Andy. Andy's a very cool guy. I actually have. I saw the first episode, but I haven't seen any more. I'm telling you guys, it is so hard for me to make time for shows, but I really should make time for that because I do love Mike Flanagan, and like I think Midnight Mass and Fall of the, I almost said Fall of the House. So much sure. Midnight Mass and Haunting of Hill House is like, God, is it like the two best shows I've ever seen? Like they're up there. They're amazing. So I do need to get on that. Oh, let's see. Yeah, Oddity, I think, was the scariest movie of last year. I think for me, it has a jump scare that like just chilled me to my core. It's an amazing jump scare. What types of horror movies do you want to see more being made by current directors, filmmakers? Period pieces. I love horror period pieces so much, like olden times. I would love more like Victorian horror movies or just very rural folk horror like horror movies. I love a good period piece, but they're very expensive, and I understand that for sure. And then just like straightforward slashers. Like I just love a back to basic slasher. And a lot of times slashers, modern slashers, they try too hard to reinvent the wheel, and I don't really want you to reinvent the wheel. I want the old school kind of thing. Like Hellfest is a great example of that. Hellfest is just an old school slasher, and it was like exhilarating for me in the theater when I saw it. I just loved it. But in general, I think horror movies are in a fantastic place right now, and I don't have any complaints with like what the horror movies of our current era. I think it's a great time. I think there's so many good movies coming out. Eddington. I don't know what that is. Let me do a quick Google search. Oh, it's a 2025 film. Oh, it's Ari Aster's next movie. Contemporary Western starring Joaquin Phoenix, Pedro Pascal, Luke Grimes. Oh yeah, I heard his next movie was going to be super long. It's 225. That's actually kind of normal for movies today. It's also got Austin Butler and Emma Stone. Holy cow. Look, I like Ari Aster. No, I didn't see Beau is Not Afraid, but it really didn't seem like my thing. But I love Westerns. So I'll watch that for sure. So now I would say yes. Yes, I am excited for it. Thanks, Chase. See you, man. Have a good one. Yeah, you're always here's the thing. It always kind of makes me laugh when you bring up Neon Maniacs. So I've seen Neon Maniacs. It's one of those movies that made like no impact on me, and I don't remember it at all. I just remember thinking it was like not that great. But it was a long time ago, and I'd be willing to give it another watch. But the reason it makes me laugh when you bring it up is because my good friend Matt, the host of the Now Ended Film Feast podcast, he declared on Twitter that he doesn't like horror movies anymore because he hated Neon Maniacs so much. And he went back on that like almost immediately because he does love horror, of course. But I still tease him about that like he thought he hated the entire genre of horror because he hated Neon Maniacs so much. I just thought that was so funny. But I would be willing to give it another watch, at least for you. We got Frank in the house. Hey, Frank. Thank you so much for dropping by. Yes, I have seen Clown in a Cornfield. I talked about it in my last video, my last slashers video. I did a bloody slashers list a week or two ago, and I talked about it then. I liked it. I actually read the book, and it's definitely, much more surface level than the book is, which is to be expected. But it's a fun cotton candy horror movie. It's a good time. Let's see. Bit off topic. Have you seen any Panos Cosmatos films like Beyond the Black Rainbow or Mandy? I have not seen Beyond the Black Rainbow, but I have seen Mandy at least a couple of times, and Mandy is awesome. It is such a fantastic movie. Yeah, I actually got to see that in a theater, which I'm very thankful for because it's not the kind of movie that would normally come in my area. Worst first date movie, Necromantic's another one of those movies that I don't really feel like I want to watch. I've heard about it. I don't think I want that thing in my head. I'm going to say a movie that I mentioned a little bit earlier in the stream, Possession, 1981. Movie. It is like the most viscerally disturbing movie about a marriage ending, and it will make you never want to be in a relationship. So I'm going to say Possession. Oh boy. Or Blue Valentine. Not a horror movie, but another movie about a failed marriage, and it's so devastatingly depressing. Excellent movie, though. Let's see. Oh. Oh, we got Matt. Matt's the one I was talking about with Neon Maniacs. I will never stop teasing him about Neon Maniacs. Oh, there he is. Ooh, okay. So ZMA says, I like Child's Play 2 and 3, Leprechaun 2 and 3, and Hellraiser, yes, Hellraiser 2 and 3 better in their first movies. What are your thoughts on that? Strongly disagree on Hellraiser. For me, like Hellraiser 1 is one of the greatest horror movies ever made. I think it's amazing. And I like Hellraiser 2. Doesn't touch the original. Hellraiser 3, not a big fan of. So I definitely disagree on that one. Also disagree on Child's Play, although I get it. Because Child's Play 2 is super fun, and a lot of people like Child's Play 2 better than the original. So I get it. A lot of people would agree with you. But for me, like that first one is just like it's just a perfect little horror movie. And I do love Child's Play 3, and that movie is really underrated. I, for so long, only heard people just crap on that movie, and I think it's really good. I got to see it in the theater recently I keep bringing up these 24-hour marathons, but I saw a lot of movies at these 24-hour marathons. It takes a lot of movies to fill out 24 hours, especially when you go several times. And I saw Child's Play 3 there once. And, some people were like, why would they play Child's Play 3? And I was like, guys, Child's Play 3 is going to rock the house. Like, you were not prepared for how much Child's Play 3 is going to be a great experience in the theater. And it was. Everybody had a blast with Child's Play 3. It was awesome. Leprechaun 2 and 3 I've never seen. I've only seen the first Leprechaun. Wasn't a big fan of it. So maybe I would like Leprechaun 2 and 3 better. Ooh, cool. Recently picked up Vincent Price Volume 1. I'm sure you mean the Volume 1 Scream Factory set. Great set. I think every movie on that set is good. So that's awesome. I'm getting Pedro'd out. Pedro Pascal, I'm sure you mean. Can't say I feel the same because I just saw him in Freaky Tales, which is a new little indie movie he was in. And it's maybe his best performance ever. Like, he is so good in it. And I'm really excited for Fantastic Four. Very excited to see him as Reed Richards. I'm overall, not as excited about superhero movies as I used to be, but Fantastic Four, those characters are just very important to me. And I've been waiting on a new Fantastic Four movie for a long time because the 2015 one doesn't really count, right? I don't think so. Let's see. Oh yeah, Matt was with me at that marathon. I didn't even think I liked Child's Play 3 at all. And man, that marathon screen at 6:30 in the morning completely turned me around on that movie. Yeah. I knew that was going to play. Yeah, it was good. I've seen the first 2 Coffin Joe movies and I like them. They're weird, but they're interesting. I can't think of any other Brazilian horror I've seen. Bye, Ann. Thank you so much for dropping in. We got 200 people in here. Okay. I think it's time for a channel update. For some reason, I'm nervous about talking about this. I don't know why. Because I'm sure you guys will be very nice and supportive. But I want to tell you guys something. So the channel update is I have left my day job. So I am now doing Cobwebs full-time. It's mostly full-time, which I'll get into the stipulations about that. It's pretty crazy. This isn't something I really ever expected because I very much just started this as a way to have fun. And for so long, it was just having fun with it. And then when I started making money from it, I was like, okay, cool. It's like this little bonus. But since my son was born, he's 2, my wife quit her job. So she's been a stay-at-home mom, taking care of him. And I've been working a full-time job and then doing this on the side. And it has been a ton of work, especially like the past few months as I've been kind of building towards this. Just really pushing myself hard and in a good way because I love doing this, but I knew it wasn't sustainable. Like I knew eventually I'm going to have to leave my job or I'm going to have to do less videos here. Like this isn't really sustainable lifestyle, especially as my son gets older. But really the person that pushed me to do this was my wife. And I don't think I ever would have done it without her pushing me to do it because, if she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom forever, I would have accommodated that because I think it's my responsibility, kind of an old school guy. I should support my family. But she didn't want to be a stay-at-home mom anymore. She got real burned out on it. And now that I am more of a stay-at-home dad, which I'll get into, I understand it's a lot of work taking care of a toddler all by yourself. And she was getting more burned out than I was. And I was doing like 2 jobs at the same time. And she was just exhausted, and not just exhausted, but like, she just wanted to be around adults again. And really what two things happened that really pushed this is she went out to lunch with some of her old coworkers at her old job, and it went great. She really enjoyed spending time with them again. It sounded like the company was doing great, and she just felt like she wanted to go back. And then work from home at my job got taken away. And I wasn't always work from home, but I got some work from home options. I was in the office most of the time, but I got some work from home, and that was very helpful because I had a bit of a commute, and that got taken away completely because I worked in the government, and government's changing rapidly right now. And so that got taken away. My wife didn't want to be a stay-at-home mom all the time anymore. The channel was just doing really well, and like the income. And we looked at like what she would make working part-time at her old job, which is what she's doing now, part-time, and like what I'm making for the channel. And we're like, it just kind of economically makes sense. And we really wanted to share the parenting responsibility more because it felt like she was with our son too much. And I was never with him enough. And we wanted to balance that more. So that's what we're doing now. So she works at her job 3 days a week. 3 days a week, I'm a full-time dad, which is awesome. It's exhausting. He's a lot, but he's also a fantastic kid, and I just love spending time with him. And then the rest of the time I run this channel, and it's been really good. It's been really good. This has been like the first full week that we've been doing it. And yeah, so I'm going for it. It's and plus, like, you know, I think a lot of people would say like, oh, what about the lack of job security? Like YouTube, is that really stable? Blah, blah, blah. Again, I worked for the government. It was not feeling stable. It really wasn't. And I kind of felt like, I feel like YouTube is more stable at this point than a job in the government. The vibes were not good. And I'm very thankful to have gotten out. And I'm very thankful to spend more time with my family and spend more time on this because this is what I'm passionate about. And I've wanted to talk about movies for a living for so long, but I never really expected it to be a viable option. Like I wasn't really actively pursuing it. I expected to work a normal job, and that was okay. But yeah, I'm very thankful for this. So what's going to be changing? I don't totally know. Initially, I was like, well, I want to do more. Like, obviously, I'll just do more videos because I'll have more time. So far, I don't feel like I have a ton more time because I'm still a full-time dad 3 days a week. So I've got 2 weekdays as full work days, and then I'll work on the weekends as I can. It still doesn't feel like I have all the time in the world to do a lot of things, but you will get 2 lists per week, which I've been doing for a while now. Wednesdays and Sundays has been the schedule that I've been working. For a long time, I wanted to do a video every Sunday and Wednesday, and like that's my consistent schedule, but it was really hard to make that happen all the time. Right now, that's what I'm doing. I want to do some extra videos. I'm not totally sure what those will always be. I want to do more for Patreon because let me tell you, I've had a Patreon for a while now, and it's been pretty successful, and I've done very little with it. And I feel bad about that, but I think everybody just kind of understands that they're just giving out of the goodness of their heart, and they're just giving to support me, which has been very much appreciated because I've just not had the time to do many perks on Patreon. And people haven't left. Like people have very much just stayed and supported me, and I appreciate that so much, but I want to give back more now. So I'll probably do at least like a monthly Patreon only live stream, maybe do some bonus videos over there. And, it's somebody, we had Eli in here. Oh yeah. And I can do more live streams. Live streams were so difficult to do doing this and a full-time job, like almost impossible, but now I can do them more, which is great. And you also said, okay, thank you for the congrats. I saw you, Eli, say something. Here you go. You need to open up memberships. I'm still undecided about that because YouTube takes such a big cut out of memberships. They take like 30% of it. So 30% of this, what you pay in memberships just goes into YouTube. And Patreon, it's way lower. I don't remember what it is, but Patreon, they take much, much less. So I really prefer Patreon. So I'm not sure about memberships. Ooh, this is a good question. Sean O'Connell, will you be doing your monthly movies watch recap videos again? I think so. I have missed those videos. I stopped doing them for a couple of reasons. One, I did get some negative feedback about them. Some people told me that they didn't really like them, which is just a few people. So I really should make a decision based on that. But also I tended to get my most negative comments on those videos. And I think it's because that's the video where I talk about the movies I watch that I don't like. And if you get negative on YouTube, that's when you'll get the most hate thrown at you, which I understand. So I think I got tired of those negative comments. And then also, it was hard to make the timing of them work because I'd be like, oh, I just watched these 4 movies for this list, but this list isn't going to come out for a week. But now I have to do the watch list. So I'll already talk about them here, but I really want to talk about them the first time in this list. Probably nobody cares about that, but I cared about it. But I might solve that by just doing the monthly recap videos a little bit later in the month than like right at the first. But yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense to do those again because like it's another video I can do. Doesn't take extra research. Excuse me. So I think I'm going to bring those back. So that'll be cool. A lot of congrats in here. I really appreciate it. I think I was nervous to talk about this. Thank you, Frank. Because like, I don't know. I didn't want people to see me as like, oh, you're now like another influencer. But I don't feel like an influencer. You know, I feel like a movie commentator, film critic, but not even really. I don't really feel like a film critic. You know, just like a content creator. I think what I've always said my dream job is film historian. So maybe just, you know, digging through old movies, talking about them. Like that's just really what I want to do. I'm just so thankful to be able to do it. Thank you so much for all the congrats in here. Yeah, I think it is great news. It feels really good. It seems to be going like the channel's doing really well this month. And also it's crazy to do this right after I had that hack and the channel got taken down for about a day. But also that kind of that did serve to show me that this is viable because it got resolved so fast. And it felt like YouTube takes my channel seriously and they will work with me if there are any problems. And that was like reassuring. So it actually ended up being kind of reassuring. Oh, somebody said, I thought you might be switching from horror to romantic comedies. I wonder if there are any YouTube channels focused on romantic comedies. They're probably not very successful because that's probably like the least successful genre right now. But no, I will continue to periodically talk about other genres because I'm very thankful that when I do videos on other genres, they tend to do pretty good. So in fact, like I did a video on just like 80s movies in general, like last month, and it has like 70,000 views, which is crazy. So it's cool that I don't only have to talk about horror, but the channel will always be horror focused because I'm a horror focused person and I just like to watch horror movies the most. So that's just the way it is. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. A lot of nice congrats in here. Let's see. Thank you, Mama Cat. Mama Cat's Rockin' Eats Cooking Show. It sounds like a great channel. Very cool. I love cooking. And that's another thing. Like I don't know. It's just nice to be home more and be able to contribute to the house more. And like, I already did a lot of the cooking, but now it's like even easier to do that. And it's nice. Thank you. Thank you so much, Joe. Thank you. All the best to all the working families who are also new parents. Yeah. Yeah. And it feels like such a privilege to be able to share the parenting responsibilities more because that's really what we wanted. And I wish the world was set up more that was more possible. Because like, I don't know, the way the world is set up, like it makes the most sense unless you do, if you don't do daycare, to have one parent have a full-time job and one parent stay home. But it would be nice if more people could have a balance and people could work a little bit. Both parents could work, but less. A parent could always be a parent with the kid. I just think the world would be happier that way, but it's tough to make it happen. But I'm so happy that my wife and I made it happen. Thank you, Susan. Yeah, and like, I don't think, like I was really appreciated at my job and like I had a great boss. And I think I think the thing I was the most concerned about was my position disappearing. Because I'll tell you what I did in my position involved supporting nonprofit organizations. In the current political climate, I don't think I was going to last much longer. I mean, I don't know how much I should talk about this, but there was a bill circulating that got rid of like almost everything that I do. And it didn't pass. So, but it just felt like this position's probably going to disappear. And I think my department would have found a new place for me because I was appreciated and I think they would have found a place for me, but it just made a lot more sense to do this instead. And I think this has a lot more scaling opportunity too. Like I think there's growth here, whereas growth is a little bit more limited unless I wanted to like work crazy hours, which I didn't really want to. Anyway, thank you. Thank you very much. Let's see. Yeah. And I'm a very family oriented person. My dad was too. So it's just very much ingrained in me. I hope you talk about movies you don't like, but want to like, or feel like they were just missing some magic sauce. Yeah, I really like, I think there is value in talking about movies you don't like. I truly do. And like some people, like, they just like keep it positive. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. I think there's genuine value in talking about movies you don't like. And that's kind of why I want to bring back the watch list, is like it's an opportunity to talk about those films. Like I watched last month, I watched The Coffee Table. Did not like that movie. Did not like it. I thought it might go on a certain list. I was like, nope, I don't want to talk about this. But if there was a watch list, I would have talked about it. So there are movies that I watch that I don't like that just never end up getting talked about. With the watch list, they could come back. Yeah, I'm just not a big TV guy. No, at least not at this point. But there are some TV shows that I really love. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate you. I noticed the uptick in number of videos you posted as of late. Now I see why. I may need to take off work just to watch all your videos. Yeah, it's still only been a couple of videos a week, I think. But I would like to get up to 3 videos a week. It probably wouldn't be 3 lists. I don't think I could do that. But like, throw in a standalone review in there or something like that. 2000s Mummy series. I love the first one. I think it's like perfect. It's so great. Like the only thing wrong with the 1999 The Mummy is dated CGI, but even that I don't care about. Like it's just great. Mummy Returns and Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. I haven't seen those since I was a kid, so I really need to rewatch them. So I don't remember them super well, other than Dwayne Johnson, Scorpion King at the end of Returns. Who can forget that? Thank you, Mama Cat. I love making those lists. There's a reason that it's the most common thing I do. It is my favorite thing to do. So I love doing it. Oh, cool. I can't see how many likes there are, but hey, I appreciate that. Such a cool job to be able to watch movies you want to watch and share your love with them and also review them. So cool. Yeah, I feel very, very privileged. It's very cool. I never expected it for sure. Will you do other kinds of movies, not just horror? Yeah. Yeah, I would say recently I've kind of had at least one video a month where I talk about other genres. Like a couple of videos ago, I just did like some underrated movies, different genres. There was horror in there. There was some other stuff, and people seem to really enjoy that video, which was great. So yeah, I will sometimes, but it's still going to be a horror focused channel because that's just what I'm the most passionate about. Not even just most passionate about watching, but most passionate about talking about. Like I just love to like study the horror genre, but I do like to talk about other things too. So yeah, I will periodically for sure. Let's see. Oh, cool, Matt. Thank you. Thank you for that. Oh, wow. That's so cool. I'm really thankful that I can introduce people to those guys. Those guys rule. Let's see. Yep. Yep. That's awesome. Tubi monthly watch list. Yeah, I think that's going to be a consistent thing. I did a Tubi watch list, the past couple of months. Really enjoyed doing them. And also like, I think it makes sense to do that because the economy's not getting political, but the economy is very uncertain right now. I don't think anybody can deny that. So people may be, holding on to their income more. I'm feeling that. I'm definitely a little more focused on saving, especially with this job change for sure. I'm more focused on saving, less focused on physical media right now. So free entertainment, never going to go out of style. So I think it makes sense to talk about Tubi. And I've just been enjoying Tubi more lately for sure. I might. I used to do a podcast where, that was like all I did. It is a lot of work to like manage those things. And I'll tell you, well, this, Eli, this, but who's really good at that is Frank. I think Frank is phenomenal at doing those. So I love taking part in those that Frank does. Oh, wow. That's so cool. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Mama Cat. Let's see. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate that. Would you consider working on a film? Honestly, not that interested in it. I mean, when I was younger and like early college, I did some of that with some friends. But I don't really like the lifestyle of being a filmmaker or an actor or something isn't attractive to me because it's really long days away from home. There's a lot of waiting around for things to set up, and it's not really a lifestyle I'm not interested in. Plus, I'm just more focused. I'm just more interested in like studying film and like film history and stuff like that rather than the actual process of making them. When I was young, I used to want to be an actor. Like that was my, 'cause like I was a theater kid in high school. So I did theater and like I really wanted to be an actor. And then I got to a point where I was like, I don't want to live that kind of life. I don't want to worry about auditions and I don't want to have to worry about being that attractive. Frankly, that thought crossed my mind. I was like, I don't want to worry about that. So I backed off of that. But as like a one-off, like if like it didn't take up too much of my time, yeah, it could be fun. Could be interesting if the opportunity presented itself. Thank you, Larry. I really appreciate that. Influencer to me is someone using a selfie light, talking their phone or a camera in public. You are not that. I see you as a film critic aficionado type. Thank you. That's the goal. That's the goal. Let's see. I think that channel, Mid-Level Media, is a rom-com channel. He's a 90s com channel and a Westerns channel. I love it when Ken talks about Westerns. I'm all about it. I think it's awesome. Do old movie watch-alongs. I thought about that. Yeah. I thought that might be a good Patreon thing. I've never done a movie watch-along because I don't participate in movie watch-alongs. So like I've just never participated in one. So it doesn't really spring to mind for me. But I thought that would be a really good Patreon thing. So I may bring that soon. Yeah, 80s is one of my comfort decades for sure. Always comfortable watching an 80s movie. Yeah, Ken rules. I love Ken. I might have some downtime from work and there's so many movies you mentioned I've never even heard of. Yeah, cool. The news is that I left my day job and I am now full-time on Cobwebs. Crazy, absolute insanity, but very thankful. Good luck with full-time YouTube. I shall continue to watch from the UK. You're one of the few channels that focus a lot on European horror. Yeah, I love Euro horror. Love it. Oh, wow. That's late. Okay, absolutely. Go to bed. Get some sleep. I'll see you. Thank you so much for dropping by. No. I was nervous about talking about it for some reason, but no. Definitely not bad news. That's like my friends over at the Splattercast channel. They just went full-time too. And they just put out a video about it. And they did this whole song and dance for like a minute where they made it sound like they were quitting. And then they were like, just kidding, guys. I was like, cruel. I could never do that. That's too mean. Thank you, CJ. I appreciate that. It seems to me that the way the world is set up right now, you have to have both parents working to survive. Often, yeah. And I felt very lucky that like we were in a position where my wife could stay home because that's really what we wanted. And I was very thankful we were able to make that happen. But then it became clear that like, that's not the right path for us anymore. And we need to do something different. So we pivoted. Your announcement maybe like you and your channel more. Oh, thank you, Brian. I really appreciate that. Yeah, coffee table. That's a miserable experience. It really is. And I wasn't even like that disturbed or offended by it. You know, like, sure, if you want to have a movie be about that, go for it. But it didn't succeed at making it like consistently interesting. It was kind of like this horrific thing happens, which is super unbelievable, by the way. The way they set it up, I'm like, that would never, ever happen in the real world. But okay, sure, that happens. Fine. And then just the rest of the movie is just benign conversations while you just know in the background what happened right before them. And I'm like, I think we could have done more with it. You know, I didn't think it was that interesting. And it was a drag. It was real dreary and depressing. Wasn't a big fan. Let's see. Thank you, Laura. I really appreciate that. A lot of people are upset about the uncertainty people like you are feeling these days. It sucks. Yeah, this is what I always said to, I was in a position of leadership at my job, so I'd have to talk to people under me about this. And I just say like, we're in a season of change right now, for sure. And like how things are going to end up, I don't know. How you feel about it is up to you, but there's a lot of change going on right now for sure. And, it will affect some people badly. It may affect some other people in a good way. We'll just have to see. But it felt like it was not going to affect my job well. And it was sadly not going to affect the nonprofits that I served well either. So I'm kind of fearful for them, but we'll see. Anyway, off to serious stuff. There needs to be a major drive-in revival. I love drive-ins. I got really into drive-ins before my son was born. And since he was born, it's like impossible to go to a drive-in really. But once he's older and he can stay awake later, I'm going to take him to drive-ins as much as he wants. It's going to be great. I'm very excited. Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree. Another thing with talking about movies you don't like is it allows you to still suggest them or to put them on the radar of those who would like them. Yeah, totally. Yeah, because again, I said this earlier, but one thing I've learned from the comments on my channel is every opinion possible exists. Like I can talk about any movie and someone will be like, that's the greatest movie I've ever seen. And some people will be like, that movie's horrible. How could you like that? About anything. So yeah, and there are plenty of movies that people love that I don't like. Plenty of movies that, well, maybe not that many, but plenty of movies that like, definitely plenty of movies that I love that other people don't like. And I hear about that all the time. So yeah, just different opinions. I've heard you mention White Zombie. What are your thoughts about it? I like it. The 1932, the first zombie movie ever made with Bela Lugosi. It's really good from a historical context because it's really interesting to see the original beliefs around zombies because the zombie genre has changed so much. And that's the actual legends around zombies. Whitewashed, of course, is what it is. But I think it's actually an entertaining movie. I think it's good. Yeah, Tubi is so good. I was scrolling through it. I was like, there's so much stuff here I want to watch. I know someone who worked for the government in a similar position when you described, and she got fired last month. So your concern is probably right. Wish you the best. Yeah, I mean, it would take a legislation change to get me fired because, like, I ran programs that are in the law, so the law would have to go away. But like I said, there was a bill circulating that would have done that. It didn't pass, but it might pass in future years. So yeah, I feel very lucky to be doing this instead. Because the other thing is, like, in times of uncertainty, and especially economic uncertainty, what will stick around? Free entertainment. And YouTube is free entertainment. So it feels pretty good right now. Dream Abbott and Costello imported. Oh, you had a dream, I'm guessing. Abbott and Costello imported to a modern. Oh, okay. You're asking me what modern horror franchise should Abbott and Costello go into? That's a good question. Honestly, I mean, I think the one I would like to see the most is Friday the 13th. I would like to see Abbott and Costello running around Camp Crystal Lake. Like, I'm thinking they're like the new camp directors and they're like having to manage all the counselors and get prepared for the season. And, Bud Abbott is trying his best to like be professional. He's walking on a clipboard and Luke Costello keeps messing things up. And then Jason shows up and they got to deal with that. I think that would be awesome. I would love to watch that. Let's see. The first Mummy. Then you like the 99 Mummy or like the first Boris Karloff Mummy? Yeah, everybody has access to YouTube. Tubi is free. You do have to watch ads, but in my opinion, the ads aren't that bad. And they come at pretty natural commercial break points. It doesn't feel to me like there's too many of them. And one other thing that I notice is early in the movie, the ad breaks will be a little longer. Later in the movie, they get really short. So, ads aren't great. It's not ideal, but it is free. And the selection is really good. Yeah. The selection is better than like Netflix or something like that. It's, on par probably with Shudder. Maybe Shudder's a little bit better. I'm not sure. Shudder's great too, but Shudder costs money, of course. Let's see. My favorite Western is Once Upon a Time in the West, Sergio Leone, which would be another one of my favorite scores of all time. Man, the score to that is incredible. Number 2 would be Rio Bravo. So it's Once Upon a Time in the West and Rio Bravo. Incredible movies. Yeah, this was just asked a little bit earlier ago. It is Halloween, but there are a lot of other ones that I love, but Halloween would be number 1. Good choices. Good choices. I love you put Halloween 3 up there. That's wild, but it's cool. Halloween 3 is a blast. Could you see yourself as a college professor teaching a course strictly on, I'm guessing you mean strictly on horror, kind of like in the movie The Freshman, it was a whole class at NYU devoted to The Godfather? Yes. I could totally see myself doing that. I don't have the degree for it, so I would never get asked to do it. But one thing would be cool to be like a guest lecturer, because that's in the realm of possibility. Because like Sean Chandler from the Sean Chandler Talks About YouTube channel, he's done that. He's given talks at college courses, particularly just around like being a content creator, I think is what he's done. But he's also given talks at like conventions and such. I could see myself doing that because I am a good public speaker. I have a lot of experience public speaking, which is probably one reason that YouTube came a little bit more naturally to me. So I would love to do something like that. I had thought about like emailing conventions in my state and being like, hey, I'm a full-time horror YouTuber. Is there anything I can do? You know, can I help like host a panel or something and just kind of see where that goes? So I had thought about that. I'll tell you one person who would give me the chance is Chase from AVA Pop Culture. He's talked about putting me and some other YouTubers in a movie sometimes. That could possibly happen. Thank you, Bookworm. Absolutely, I read Sutter Kane. That's why I've gone insane. That's what it does. Yeah, man, Halloween, because Halloween 3 is awesome. That's why. Nope, no bad news. Bad news is I'm full-time Cobwebs. Thoughts on going to conventions to meet celebrities? I would not go to a convention for the purpose of meeting celebrities because I'm honestly not that interested in meeting celebrities. I mean, it'd be cool, but I'm not super interested in that. Because I'm not like not like a celebrity worshiper or anything to me. It's really like the art, the art they produce is more important to me, but it'd be cool to meet certain people for sure. But I would go to conventions just like just to be in the environment of all the stuff I love and to be around just people that love the stuff that I love. But I've never truly been to a horror convention. So that is one of my goals. I would like to. Let's see. Yeah, and I respect the boldness to touch the subject, and I have no problem with them touching the subject. None whatsoever. I just didn't like the movie very much, but that's just me. It seems like most people liked it. Yeah, I don't. I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, I haven't seen any trolls, so that's really cool. It's awesome. Absolutely, Django is a Western. 100% Western, and it's awesome. Yeah, I love it. Okay. I am guessing you mean Django Unchained, because otherwise I don't think you would have asked that question. But yeah, there is an original Django starring Franco Nero from the 60s, which is also a Western and is also really good. But yeah, Django Unchained for sure. Thank you, Todd. I really appreciate that. No, Steven. I still haven't seen Omen 3. I know it's terrible. I really need to get on it because I do love Sam Neill. Sam Neill has come up in this stream a lot, I notice. I love that. Let's see. What's the Western type movie that's not a Western but has machete and vampires? I mean, there's a few vampire westerns. I mean, John Carpenter's Vampires isn't a western in terms of the time period, but it's basically a western. It fits every other criteria. Near Dark is kind of a western. It's got some of those vibes for sure. I'm not sure what you mean about like, but has machete, like the Machete movies. I'm not sure. No, I haven't yet. Yeah, that's another one that I really mean to see. Lamora, A Child's Tale of the Supernatural. I have not seen that yet. Oh, wow. There's a drive-in less than 15 minutes from where you live. Oh, that's so cool. I'm very jealous. My closest drive-in is 40 minutes away, and they only show new stuff. They're actually connected to an actual movie theater. So there's the movie theater here, and then they got a drive-in screen behind it. And so they only show the new movies, and that's it. There are some drive-ins that do cool horror stuff like that, but they're like 5 hours away, something like that. Tough to get to. Let's see. Oh yeah, and you could call. Oh wait, is that what you were talking about? What's the Western type movie? It's not a Western, but has machete. Oh, you're talking about From Dusk Till Dawn. By machete, you mean, gosh, I'm forgetting his name. But yeah, the actor who plays Machete, who I think is in that movie. Yeah, you're talking about From Dusk Till Dawn. Okay, somebody in the chat understood that comment way more than I did. Yeah, thank you, Jay Murray. Let's see. Yeah, we got a few left in my state. There's a few still hanging on. I remember thinking in the past that like that would be my dream like retirement job. Like when I'm old, I'm retired, just run a drive-in on the side. I just feel like that would be so fun. Yeah, Cat's Eye is good. I don't think it's amazing. I don't think it's one of the best horror anthologies, but I do like it. I think it's definitely worth watching. Yeah, me too. The ads aren't really that big a deal for me. Plus, like, a lot of people look at their phones from time to time when they watch a movie. They pull out their phone. It's pretty natural at this point. With Tubi, you can just say, if you feel like grabbing your phone, just be like, I'm just going to wait for the next ad break, and just use the ad break to look at your phone. And then when it's over, you continue watching the movie. So I feel like it kind of works for our culture nowadays. Abbott and Costello and Texas Chainsaw Massacre would be pretty cool too. Yeah, them show up and like, oh, our car broke down. We better go up to the house and knock, knock. Hey, let us use your phone. Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah, I Walked with a Zombie that's my favorite old black and white zombie movie. So good. Oh, let's see. Heck yeah. Thank you, Eli. Yeah, thank you, Chris. I do feel like I'm kind of a rare YouTuber and that I like both. I feel like with a lot of horror YouTubers, like they just talk about the new stuff or they hate the new stuff and they don't talk about the old stuff. But there are good movies in every decade for sure. And sure, like I have a little bit of a penchant. I don't know if that's the right word. A little bit of a bias towards, I do like watching the older movies more often, but I still think there's so much great stuff that's new for sure. Cause I just love movies. Documentary style videos as Professor Cobwebs. I'm not really sure what that means. Do a documentary. Yeah, and just talk about Cat's Eye. That's good. That's a more and more popular opinion nowadays. I notice more and more people are saying Season of the Witch is their favorite Halloween. It's not mine, but I do love it. It's awesome. Too bad you can't have pictures in the chat, or I would have posted a picture of a troll. And we all would have laughed. It would have been great. Yeah. The original Django has like nothing in common with Django Unchained. So Tarantino just took the name as an homage. But yeah, there was a Django in the 60s starring Franco Nero, and it's really good. I do really like it a lot. Yeah, I know. I need to go. I need to go with my buddy Chris, because he likes horror conventions and we do a lot of that kind of stuff together. So we really just need to make that happen soon. I think I saw. I'm not sure if I did see The Endless. I think I just saw the first one, because The Endless is a sequel to. I'm telling you, once I go live, I can't think of any movie titles anymore. Endless is a sequel to. I feel like it's right on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember. But yeah, I saw the first one, but I don't think I did see The Endless, so I really should. Favorite horror TV show? It is Haunting of Hill House. Mike Flanagan's Haunting of Hill House for sure. And Midnight Mass might be right behind it. But I'll tell you, for a horror sitcom, I really like. I'm telling you, my brain is going. I've been live for too long. I can't think of any titles anymore. What's the horror sitcom with Adam Green and Joe Lynch? It's the name of their town. The title is the name of their town. Holliston. That's right. I really like Holliston. It's a sitcom about horror filmmakers and horror nerds. So it's very niche. And I don't know if it ever actually played on TV. It might have just been online, but it's super fun. Yeah. So Brian shouted out Holliston. Yeah, that's the one. Fun. Oh, no, I haven't seen Allison's Birthday, but that's included in my full core box set from Severin. I remember that's in there, but that's one of the ones that I haven't seen yet. So thanks for shouting it out. I probably should wrap this up soon. Yeah, I did everything. Yeah, we did 2 rounds of the game. We unboxed. We went over the challenge update, answered a lot of questions. So yeah, I'm going to go for maybe like 5 more minutes, and then I'll probably wrap this thing up. But thank you all so much for coming in here, supporting, asking questions, participating. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. It feels awesome. Let's see. Yeah, there are a lot of Django movies. I haven't seen any of the other sequels, so I've just seen the original and Django Unchained, but there are a lot of other ones. I don't think I've seen any of the other ones. I do want to do a Western horror video because like no one has done that. I don't think that exists on the internet. I don't think anyone has ever done a video on like a list of Western horror movies. And I think that'd be really cool. But there are quite a few still that I need to watch before I could do it. But yeah, I'd like to do that. I did do a video a long time ago on my top 10 50s Western movies. So, it's probably not going to be as polished as what I do now, but it's on there. It's on the channel. So you could check that out. Yeah. See, working at Family Video was my go to college job. So I worked at Family Video through like pretty much all of college. All right, I'm scrolling down. Yeah, thank you all so much. Oh man. See Highlander yet? No, I haven't. I see Highlander is 80s, right? 86. Yeah, perfect. I was thinking there are two videos I'm thinking about doing. I'm thinking about doing a video on like 5 horror classics I'd never seen until now. So I'll pick 5 because there are a few that you might be surprised, like 5 just classic beloved horror movies I'd never seen. Watch them, review them all in that video. And I was thinking about doing the same thing for just like 5 classic 80s movies I'd never seen, like non-horror specific. And Highlander would be one. The Elephant Man would be another. Red Dawn would be another. I've never seen those. So yeah, when I get around to that video, that's when I will see Highlander, and I'll talk to everybody about it. Wow, thank you, Obsolete. That is awesome. I really appreciate that. Yeah, that's interesting. So Laura said, honestly, growing up, I hated scary movies, but I loved Halloween and all the aesthetics about it. It does seem like there is a pretty large group of people that love Halloween, but they don't love horror movies. And I find that a little bit surprising, but it's pretty common actually, and I find that very interesting. Because I always wonder, is the reverse ever true? Are there any people that like love scary movies, but they don't like the holiday of Halloween? Probably not, but it's interesting. Let's see. My dream is to have an old house with a horror themed saloon bar in it. Oh, that'd be so cool. Speaking of a dream bar, I recently went to see Final Destination Bloodlines, the new Final Destination movie. Really enjoyed it. Was really fun. But there is a scene in a backyard, and it's like my dream backyard. And that's the main thing that I take away from that movie. Where I'm like, I love that yard because they got a trampoline back there. But most importantly, they've got an outdoor bar, and they like mix these frozen margaritas in a blender right there. And I'm just like, man, that looks like the life. But then of course somebody dies horribly in the scene. So that's a shame. But everything before it, I'm like, oh man, that just looks so great. Okay, let's see. OG Highlander is pretty good. I actually started it once, got interrupted, so I've seen like the beginning of it once. I've not seen the horror series from. I don't know if I've heard of it. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people hate the Highlander sequels. Oh, Larry's never seen it, and Larry is a hardcore action movie fan, so that's very interesting. He hasn't seen it either. Thank you, Joe. I really, really appreciate that. I swear, like every live stream, people ask me about children shouldn't play with dead things because it's like kind of conspicuously absent from a lot of lists I've done. Yes, didn't really like it. I am aware that I should probably give it a second chance at some point, but I just haven't felt like it. I remember just finding it kind of a drag because like I really just hated that guy who like monologues through almost the whole movie. Man, I just couldn't stand him. He kind of like blocked me out of really liking the movie. Oh, let's see. Heck yeah. Enjoy that drive-in. Yes, I love Wishmaster. Oh man. Do you wish for it? I love Andrew Devoff in those. He's so good. It's when he's like, he's great when he's the Djinn, when he's got the monster makeup. And then when he takes his human form, and he's just this really swarmy guy in a suit, and he's like, do you wish to be beautiful forever? And it's so great. I love Wishmaster. Yes, Brother of the Wolf is absolutely awesome. Ooh, I didn't know Clancy Brown was in Highlander. That's good to know. I love Clancy Brown. Yes, I have seen Critters. It is good, but Critters 2 is better. I think Critters 2 is pretty darn great. It's fun. That's a Mick Garris movie. I almost thought I'm forgetting all the names, but I remembered that one. Ooh, I love you dive into other genres occasionally. I watched Searching for Mr. Goodbar because of you. I definitely like you to touch on other stuff like Westerns. Yeah, Mr. Goodbar is an excellent movie. Really, really good. Yeah. I will do like a part 2 of like 80s cult classics video pretty soon. I'm really excited to do that because the last one did like very surprisingly well. So I'm really excited to do another one of those. Yeah. No. Oh man. So she's talking about Destination Bloodlines. When that doofus broke the glass, like right next to the giant ice pail, like I was flabbergasted because I used to work in a restaurant, and I know if you break a glass anywhere near the vicinity, like really just at all, if you break a glass at a bar, at a restaurant, all the ice goes. You take it, you dump all of it out, and you replace all of it because no one takes that chance. And when you just broke a glass, I'm just like, oh, okay, let's clean that up and keep using the ice. Insanity. I was like, dude, you would deserve to die if you were that stupid. And he did die. So, as most characters did in that movie because it's a Final Destination movie. Yeah, The Pale Door is on my list to watch for that video, but I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, I do need to check it out. Yeah, I really think. Yeah, I think you'd be hard pressed to find a horror fan that doesn't love Halloween. Halloween rules. I don't think most. I don't. I know not all horror fans are as obsessed with the holiday as I am, but every horror fan likes it. I know. I don't know why. I've just never seen Red Dawn, even though it has such an amazing cast. Yeah, I don't know why. I need to watch it. Oh, let's see. I haven't seen The Legacy. Actually, before I left my job, my boss was recently talking to me about that. And she watched it and really didn't like it. But I told her I need to check it out. I haven't seen Trucks. I have seen Maximum Overdrive, but I've never seen Trucks. Okay, guys, I am going to wrap this thing up. So thank you all so much for dropping by. Thank you for being so active in the chat. Thank you all for being nice to each other. It was just a really good vibes chat. It was really great. Thank you for being supportive about my new venture. And so you'll probably just be seeing more from the Cobwebs channel, more stuff going on over on Patreon. If you have the extra money and the heart to do it, you can support me over on Patreon as little as $1 a month. Certainly don't have to, though. But yeah, I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Stay spooky. I'll see you next time. Bye.